Hello and welcome to Superpower Broadcasting. I'm Kevin Castley. Thank you for being here tonight. Tonight we have a shorter stream. I'm going to be talking more about the riots and, of course, the protests in general, a lot of the sentiment, a lot of the anti-police sentiment that is out there, and we might be joined by a couple people later on. We'll see. Like I said, I want to keep this to be a bit of a shorter stream tonight. And, with that, there's been some, altogether absurd remarks on Twitter. Very unfortunate rhetoric out there. Of course, there's the classic all cops are bastards. And there's even some mental gymnastics with that one. I've seen, of course, memes and stuff out there, information graphics, if you will, claiming that, we recognize that not all cops are bad, that individual cops can do bad things, but the system is rotten to the core, and therefore all cops are bastards. And it's like just being police makes them bastards. And you're like, wow, it's amazing. It's really amazing. You take a look at the physiognomy of a lot of these people who are calling right now for abolishing the police force. They're soy boys. They're like 100 pounds. They're Twinkie Twinkers. They wouldn't last 2 seconds if you abolished the police. So I tweeted out earlier tonight, and I said on Twitter, of course, you could go follow me there at Kevin Castley. By the way, before you do that, be sure to like this video and go follow this channel over on Twitch. The link's in the description below. And if you want to support my work, definitely be sure to go check out my Patreon. However, what I said on Twitter tonight was basically, it would be kind of a good thing if Trump actually got serious and wanted to teach these punks a lesson and just said, you know what? For once, I'm just going to agree with the opposition. I'm just going to give the opposition what they want. We're just going to abolish the cops. No more cops. No more cops in America for a week. Imagine what would happen. Imagine what would happen if they got their wish. If they got their real anarchy that they want, their woke anarchy. Imagine. And of course, I said, teach them a lesson. They'll be begging to bring the cops back so fast, it'll make their heads spin, to use a Trumpism right there. And I also said, of course, that, those who are left alive, because, of course, it would be a bloodbath. It would be the purge in America. It would be insanity. And we have a very spontaneous surprise right now. We aren't often these days joined by his godliness, but he's actually in the studio. We have the God King of Warmongers here tonight. So I do have a clip from WCCO Minnesota that we're going to take a look at, but we're going to welcome Reese to the studio here first. So thank you for coming on the program tonight. How are you doing, my friend?
I've come to crash the party. Oh. And just to keep keep my name out there in the public consciousness before everyone forgets about me.
But well, hey, kind of hard to forget when you're living rent free. You're living rent free in their head, a lot of their heads. So
I that's kind of the best part, is to live rent free in people's heads, and I'm not even active online. Yes. there's people who slave away every day. They upload like 5 videos a day, and they pray to have the notoriety and impact that I've had on some people.
No, it's so great. It's so great. I mean,
I don't want it. I don't want this attention. I want the people to leave me alone for the most part.
Oh man. See, like in that sense, where like I can see where you're coming from for sure. And of course, you really pilled me on the block pill of, just don't even bother interacting with a lot of these people, right? Just block them. And I like that, because in my early days on YouTube, I did basically have an open policy where, it's free speech. You could say whatever you want and everything. But it's like, yeah, but free speech is a government thing, right? It's not like my channel's my channel, your channel's your channel. We can lay down the ban hammer, right? So it's,
Yeah,
there's a
no,
lot of toxicity out there.
it's well, now we sound like SJWs. No, it's the thing. The thing is,
Oh man.
the thing is, like, obviously, I can be not always very consistent on this point, and I will, I'll become petty, and I'll argue with some no-name person, and but the thing is, like, every time I do it, I part of me feels just like, oof, I should not have amplified that account or that person's voice, because it's just a waste, really. Like, you figure out,
Yeah.
like, within like 2 or 3 replies into the conversation, you have a pretty good sense of if you ever have a chance of winning that person over. And
Yeah.
like, you just can't do it. There's and it's not to discount having disagreements and talking about them, because I have done that with people, but quite frankly, most people online are not like that. They're just not.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, I know that because I'm not. If somebody's coming at me with some argument about how chemical weapon attacks in Syria are fake news, yeah, I'm not exactly going to be, oh yes, let's sit down and have a reasoned debate about. No, it's going to be like an instant block, most likely. It's not going to be, I'm not Dave Rubin over here. Let's all sit down and talk, even though he only does that for people he already agrees with, so it kind of defeats the purpose, but whatever.
Oh man, it's so great. It's so great. To have Reese back on the show. I've got a question now that you're here. We have Dr. Zaus in the chat. He's saying that we should.
That's our meme.
Yeah, Zaus.
Someone make a shirt. Zaus.
Zaus, and it's all caps. So there was one guy who came in and he was like trying to lecture me and explain to me and stuff. And he's like, his name is Dr. Zayas. It's a reference for Planet of the Apes or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but the meme around here is he's Dr. Zaus.
I don't know any Zayas, but I do know a Zaus. That's all I know.
He's got a question or a request rather. He's saying that we should unban Sally. How do you feel about that? Because Sally and you have the beef. For me, banning Sally, it was mostly because the chat was all like, ban Sally, and I'm too busy to pay attention. And I didn't even realize it was a meme. I thought that Sally was being a shit disturber, so I banned Sally. But they're like, no, unban Sally. And then Anthony V's to be son is like, be careful what you wish for, because I didn't have the time to monitor it. But, because I'm open to bringing back Sally, because Dr. Zaus paid his tithe. He sent me $20 the other day. So...
No, you can bring her back. I mean, she and I, we don't have it's not even a beef. It's stupid. It's more just like, this person doesn't like me. I don't even know who this person is. She claims to be a woman online. That's a bit dubious. So I'm just saying. Yeah. Fuck it. Bring her back. She's harmless. She's annoying. Don't get me wrong, but harmless.
Yeah, I mean,
if she really doesn't like me,
Zaus,
like she's got like a hate boner for me, for real.
Oh yeah. No, if Dr. Zaus was just some dude, coming in here like a Mills Row type or whatever, then I'd say no. What is it? Sally gets the ban hammer still, but Zaus, like I said, Zaus pays his tithes. He has influence around here. So we're gonna go into that.
When it comes to my online presence, at the very least now, if anybody, namely Anthony or Roberto or anyone like that, wants to complain about my lack of uploads, well, I just uploaded something, so that should make me immune from such comments for a week, and then they'll start up again. So never.
Okay,
never win.
Okay. we got a request. We have a request that's a bridge too far here. Now Zaus is pushing it. Now he's saying unban Milsrow. I explained to Anthony and a
Whoa.
couple others earlier on the chat. I'm like, he's not even eligible for the $100 debate me bro thing. Like, we're done. So I appreciate your tithing to Zaus, but you know, Sally's enough. We'll leave it with Sally. Milsrow, like I said before, I mean, that is next level. That is, I mean, that is like Spurgburger tier. That is
You know what?
yeah,
You know
dude.
what I
He's a
thought was.
Spurgburger.
You know what I thought was so
Oh
funny?
man.
It was, you know, even Henry, who's the only reason, you know, that we ever talked to Milsrow in the first place, because his whole thing, he has his channel American Madhouse, where he brings on people who are like absolute cringe, and I mean, like, God bless him, really. He's willing to have the conversations that but see, that's the thing. He's willing to have conversations. You know, every week with him is a conversation with someone who you want to just tear out your ears listening to them.
Yes.
And even
man.
he said, "Man, Milsrow's a spurg. I can see why Kevin and Reese don't want to talk to him."
Don't want to talk to him. And of course, for
Burn!
me, because
Even
of
Henry
course,
thought
because I'm a
that.
Ziocon. And Reese, because of course I'm a Ziocon, if I pull out my ears, I only have to pull out a quarter of an ear because, you know, the ears, big ears, right? So
Oh yeah, very true. I just thought that was
we have Mr.
hilarious.
Bong.
Like
Yo, we have
Henry.
Mr. Bong. We got the
Oh,
gang here.
nice,
We got the
nice.
gang here. We got Mr. Bong in the chat. I already sent him the link for the invite if Billy's got
It's
time.
gonna
But
be so late for him. I wouldn't blame
yeah,
him for not wanting to come on. But he is,
no,
you know,
I
we
would
haven't heard
agree with
from him in a while, so it's nice to see Billy around for sure.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And we got John Smith's basement, another bass dude for sure. But the thing is with this whole Sally thing, I'll have to unban Sally after the stream because like my computer's such a piece. I can't even manage like a few tabs without it like slowing down my my broadcast. So it's weak. I definitely need to get like a desktop at some point.
It's weak and bleak for sure.
Yeah, it's bleak and weak, fringe and cringe, bunk and junk. You know, all
The
those
more reason
casting
to
catchphrases.
all the more reason to Patreon Kevin right there.
Oh no, for sure. And I do want to say, I just want to take a moment to give a big up to the patrons because, like, realistically speaking, I mean, I know it's kind of a small sample size currently, but I appreciate you guys. But I mean, there are channels out there that have like, you know, close to 100,000 subscribers that are like, you know, within the same order of magnitude of patrons as I've got, you know, the same sort of income. So it's like we are, you know, we're small, but we punch above our weight here. And when we're coming for the Kyles of YouTube, like we're coming for Charlie Kirk, like we're coming for you know, all the isolationists on the left and the right. So, you know.
Oh, we could get Billy on. I just remembered his Twitter's kind of messed up, so we'll either have to we could send him a link on Discord. I'll
Discord.
Let me see what I could do because you're kind of busy.
Yeah, if you can manage that, that'd be good. I was using one of my sock Discords and I forget the password to my original Discord, so I'll have to get that back. But I was getting socky, but we got Kelly here. But yeah, no, like you were saying earlier, I just wanted to take a moment to talk about what you were saying about the claim of Sally's gender and stuff like that. Like I can see the metric. I can see the metrics. Over 80% of the viewers of this channel are male. So it's like you know, could be female, but most likely those who are watching the channel happen to be male. So, you know.
Yeah, no, it's more the thing with Sally is like I think I have a pretty good sense of when someone is legit or not. You can tell based on, you know, their profile picture. Like, okay, this looks like either this looks like a real person or this looks, you know, suspiciously like a supermodel who I really doubt you are in real life. So,
yeah.
you know, even if
I'm going with the latter.
Sally could be a dude and have a Channing Tatum picture, and I would still be like, I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know.
Probably not
Probably
you.
not, yeah. Oh, John Smith, you know, he wants to come on. I'll give John Smith the link for sure. I mean, because I often have like people like Anthony and Anthony Avista Bisson on, but I want to give other people a chance to come on here so we can like mix it up and everything. We'll get Anthony on.
I've never been on this channel, so you know, you're making room for some up and comers today.
That's true. We got a new guest tonight, everybody. His name is Reese. He used to run a channel, Nightmare Fuel, but that channel. Well, I can't say that. That joke doesn't work anymore because he actually did upload the other day. So he has inoculated himself against the barrage of you know, the dead content sort of memes. But
eat your heart out. Eat your heart out, Kevin, and everyone else.
Oh, man. Well, no, I really like that profile picture. Not the profile picture, but that avatar of you with the blue skull. It was just it was based in skull pilled. It was dope.
Yeah, it felt like a vaporwave skeleton, kind of.
Yes, no, I see. That's the thing. Once I get my editing skills up more, I want to get into like more of like the neocon wave stuff. Like I was thinking, you know, if I can find some open source trance and stuff. You know, I was thinking about closing out the streams and closing out the regular videos with like, you know, with the neocon wave stuff, with the airplanes and the F-16s and stuff, with the trance and everything. Could be kind of cool. Could be kind of cool because a lot of the vaporwave stuff that's out there is kind of drone-ish. It's kind of down tempo, but like I personally like I'm big into trance and stuff, like a lot of the higher energy kind of stuff and oh yeah, Dr. Zalks, give me that Nightmare Fuel. And
I'm just gonna pretend like I know what's going on.
You take a look at like the aesthetics of my channel. It's interesting because of course our friend Arthur pointed out, he's like he showed me like a shot of his subscriptions. It was all kind of like doomy and stuff, and it was like kind of dark and everything. And of course your channel had a more darker background, and then there's me. And it's like kind of like bright and everything because it's like, yeah, we're doomy, but we're also super bloomy here. So, you know.
Tibbs says dead channel, LOL. Hey, man, I've got feelings over here.
Oh, man. He's right here. He's right here. This is the king, the God King.
I did want to.
Oh, he's here. He's here. Yeah, welcome. He has returned. He has returned to YouTube. We welcome tonight not only the God King of Warmongers, but also a prophet of the truth of the ages. We have here Nostrabongus. Hashtag the Bong is never wrong. Let's give a big up to Billy Bong. His name,
long time no talk,
it's Bong, Billy Bong, Mr. Bong. How's it going? And we have John Smith Basement, another bass talk. Oh man, we got the squad. We got the squad. We're the squad. We're Squad W. We are Squad W right now. They are Squad L. On Omar, and those guys are Squad L. We're Squad up.
Somebody start a countdown until John mentions a channel we've never heard of.
No, I'm not on that. I'm not on space anymore.
Everyone's in the house,
you, man. It's all a shit show.
I love you, man.
No, dude. Everybody's here.
Thanks.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here.
I wanted to mention something because you were referencing aesthetics, Kevin, and so obviously you saw that post of mine where the Antifa supporter was complaining about McDonald's and gas stations.
Yes.
I love these people who don't understand the function of society. They don't understand why that would be, you know, an amazingly helpful thing to have. And they're cringe posting about, oh, look how ugly this is. There's like a corner next to the highway where you can pull off and you can get some gas, and there's a fucking Taco Bell. And oh, it's not pleasing to the eye. They take this one little corner of town that, yeah, it's not meant to be Central Park. It's meant to be, you know, an easily accessible area for you to get your fast goods. And I mean, they have that's what they're gonna harp on about. It's kind of amazing, really, because then
they're gonna talk about my waifu Mountain Dew Baja Blast like that. God damn it.
I mean, that's corporate right there, man. That's gotta go.
You guys, obviously, given the fact that all of you have come on tonight, and I was kind of expecting to be solo, that definitely changes the trajectory and the structure of the stream. However, I do have a 2-minute clip from WCCO Minnesota of the mayor of Minneapolis, Frey, basically being booed because he was not in support. He didn't cave, even though he prostrated himself before the crowd and the masses and the mob, and said, "Yes, I bow to your will. I wish to atone for the original sin of my whiteness. How can I please you?" and all this. And they said, "Get rid of the cops, defund the police, abolish the police." And he said, "That's a bridge too far." And boo! And here we go.
Amazing.
Is he the guy
we also in this clip have a star appearance, a cameo from our friend Ilhan Omar. So we're going to take a look here, and then we're going to react.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Are you trying to kill me over here? You gotta...
A peaceful protest today called for defunding the Minneapolis Police Department after the death of George Floyd, and it ended with Mayor Jacob Frey being booed by the crowd. Thank you for joining us. A massive crowd walked the streets of Minneapolis today. Our David Schumann was there. Did we know Mayor Frey was going to be making an appearance, David?
It didn't look like Mayor Frey was really supposed to be a part of this. At least 1,000 people had been marching for hours, and when they stopped outside his house, he came out and just took a seat with everyone. Watch what happens when he's persuaded to come up to the front.
It is a yes or a no. Will you defund the Minneapolis Police Department?
Mayor Jacob Frey answered he didn't support the full abolition of MPD, and before he could finish, we caught up with Frey minutes later. He said it's not about having everyone on his side, but about making the necessary changes.
If you're asking whether I'm for massive structural reform to revise a structurally racist system, the answer is yes. If you're asking whether I will do everything possible to push back on the inherent inequities that are literally built into the architecture, the answer is yes.
The message to heavily defund police was shared right at the start of the protest, including from Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
But we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Protest organizers say the money should be directed toward mental health resources, affordable housing, and solutions to the opioid epidemic.
We aren't here for no police reform. None of you fought so hard to get me elected so that I can co-sign on a system that continues to oppress us.
For about 2 miles, protesters chanted,
"Hey, hey, ho, ho! These killer cops have got to go!"
Stopped in the street to dance and pray, no closer to convincing the mayor of their abolitionist cause.
Anger and frustration expressing your First Amendment rights is always fair. And although I'm taking the heat, at times it's tough, I'm here nonetheless.
As hostile as the crowd was toward the mayor, I heard some people approach him afterward and offer their support to him. He may have some opposition on his city council, though. At least 3 members stated their support this week for dismantling the Minneapolis Police Department. Jeff?
Thank you, David.
What a shit show.
Pure cringe. 100%
I'm so glad I'll be dead in 40 years.
Unadulterated cringe.
Check this out, because I cannot live in 40 years when like people, like not the world is twisted around, but when, like, you know, white people actually become oppressed in this country. I'm glad I'm not going to be around for that shit. Because it will happen. If this shit is crazy, bro.
There's nothing you can do.
There's an accepted narrative. Like, do you understand that every time someone dies by cop hands, if they're black and the cop wasn't black, this shit is gonna go down from now on and get more and more? Like,
honestly, I think the message, if anything, should be reform in some manner other than just like dismantling the police. I feel like this debacle of, you know,
there's no reform though to someone stepping out of protocol and doing something fucked up. Like, you can't stop that from happening. Like, you could try and make sure people don't do it, but that's what laws are. That's what all this is. Like, they're protesting a guy that's going to be charged and convicted. Like what are you protesting? And what are you protesting in New York City? We hate the cops. We killed no one.
They're protesting the whole system, man. It's
it's structurally
the whole thing. It's like
the structurally racist structure.
Yeah,
Got
sure.
it.
That's what it is. Meanwhile, you're taking over the
institutionalized
government literally with like Ilhan and shit.
Systemic system.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me too. When
Yeah, she's getting into power, but it's a system that's against her. Okay.
Yeah, how did she get in power?
The whole thing's fucked up. How
because
they can just be like,
her people, she said, fought for it. She just said that. No, they voted for you because you're brown.
She had to bring out her us versus them mentality as well.
That's her brown privilege, but we won't talk about.
Oh, for sure. If you do that, and you're white, and you say our people immediately will assume that you hate other races. But if you're Ilhan Omar,
you don't understand. Like, I lived in the 90s in New York City, and this shit wasn't this crazy because these people are believing a fucking delusion. It's so fucked up. Like at least back then, like, you had some evidence of some things. Like, now it's just like, oh, look, these 20 black guys were killed in the last 4 years by cops, and they were all unarmed. Half of them charged and fought with the cops. Like, if you can't understand that someone has a weapon, and if they're attacking someone with a weapon, there's only a couple of ways this can go. I can shoot you, I can somehow fight you off, or I will lose the fight and then I will die because you would take my weapon. So we're not going there. Like, why can't people understand this? But the fact that they say they're unarmed as if that means anything.
That's part of abolishing the police.
Abolish the police. No, abolish putting anyone in jail. Yeah, right. Like, I'm sure they'd be down with that if white people weren't being put in jail for stuff.
Well, no, I said on Twitter earlier, I was like, what if Trump did a troll move and just said, okay, you get your wish. There's no police in America for a week. Just the purge, Like, because think about it, all these guys who want to abolish the police are the least prepared. They're all soy boys. None of them are like 400 pounds Arnold that can hold themselves in anarchy. They're all going to be, basically raped and murdered. And
let's see how the mob holds up when there's no rules. Like, when there's no laws.
They can't even handle words. How are they going to handle anarchy, man? They would get run over by the far right if there was anarchy. They get curb stomped, and they'd be begging for the police to come in and enforce.
They'll be this together and united if the cops are gone tomorrow. The shit would blow.
It would be every man for himself.
It would be exactly. It would be a fucking.
It'd be like Thomas Hobbes said.
It
would be brutish, nasty, and short. That would be their lives.
Well, I kind of feel like this dilemma with progressives advocating to defund the police is sort of like the libertarians trying to figure out like how they're going to fund the roads, because like I don't see how you can have a policing force without a state or a police that's controlled by some government, right?
Well, yeah, they think they're going to police themselves.
Yeah,
but they'll just form a police force. Basically,
the debacle is very similar to the libertarians trying to support the roads argument, because I don't think they really know how. The libertarians have been talking about the roads issue for many, many years. They still haven't figured out how they're going to fund the roads if the government didn't fund them. So I'm sure the progressives are in the same pretzel roll.
Obviously, the free market. Come on, man. The free market provides.
I would try to invite you to try to find some golden investor data.
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna dig up some gold and fund some roads. Highways. That's my life's goal at this point. Find gold, fund roads.
And what, you're going to call them nightmare fuel roads, are you?
Nightmare fuel roads. Only I can drive on them. Get off.
Get off my road.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, you could drive on my roads for millions of dollars. And then everyone will freak out about that.
I love this comment from Arthur. He writes, every soy boy for himself. Like, but the irony of it is like the libertarians, the militias, they would win if you abolish the police, because they come in and they basically kill all these guys and take their stuff.
Basically.
Nah, bro, the Bloods and the Crips and everyone will unite, bro. It'll be. You'll see.
Apparently,
you'll
see. What's funny about the self, policing communities is I thought a lot of these people were against neighborhood watch because of people like George Zimmerman. That's kind of strange.
Well, no, you see, if we have our own people that look like us policing us, then it'll be okay.
Wait,
don't you get it?
But a lot of these police
so basically,
forces
like they want
do
the same
have-
thing, but just without white people.
Yet there
exactly.
was a bunch of Antifa beating on a black police officer. Does he
Dude,
not?
I never see it's so twisted. Like this like two things. Like black people only hate when cops kill black people, and when black people go to jail. Like they're concerned for some reason about the amount of black people in jail. I don't give a fuck how many white people are in jail. Like I don't care whatsoever. If they did a crime and they're in jail, fuck them. I don't care. I just don't care. I'm not doing crimes and I'm not going to jail. So fuck you. I don't give a fuck. You don't impress me. Like
do you not think that there should be some do you not believe like in a I'm saying this as someone who is generally hawkish on criminals, but like you don't think that there should be some sort of like second chance that we give people who want to rejuvenate their lives and like restart?
No, I'm not against that. I'm just saying that like there seems to be this concern that like just because a black person is in jail, it's a fucking tragedy, and it's like I don't know. It's just as much a tragedy as anyone else in jail.
Well, not only is it a tragedy, but it's proof that the entire architecture of the system is racist in nature and needs to be demolished. And that's funny. The thing about that mirror. The clip with the mirror is so funny because he made every concession in the book except for that last one, completely defunding the police force. But like he's in lockstep on every other issue. He's like
he believes the system is
we're talking
set
about
up
racism
against people. Like what are you fucking?
Like it's almost like it's living proof, almost not to ever give an inch. Because this is what happens. It's never going to be enough.
Yes.
You can do any amount of reforms. There's always going to be that group of people who say, nope, take it all apart. We're going to deconstruct society and start it over in our image. That's what they want.
Reese, it goes back to that line that I use in foreign policy all the time, which is basically, you give a dictator an inch, he'll take a mile. You give him a further inch, he'll take 1,000 miles. It's the same thing with the progressives. They are basically acting here the same way that Hitler acted with respect to appeasement, or Assad is acted, or the Ayatollah is acted, where it's like, they're not going to negotiate in good faith. They are incapable of reaching a deal and leaving it at that. They always want to move the goalposts. They always want to woke scold. And the problem is they know that they have the leverage in this case, because once he's admitted white guilt, once he has said, I wish to atone for my original sin and acknowledged it, now he can be, reeled in. And because with them,
sorry to
it's a total,
but
it's a total ideology.
People want Big Tibbs on in the chat.
Oh, does he not
bring
have
on Big Tibbs?
access
Okay.
to the link?
Yeah,
no, we'll bring on Big Tibbs. We're getting like new guests tonight. We're getting a bunch of new nieces that don't really come on too often.
But
so
we should say, if we bring him on, that's all the spots filled up. So just so people are aware of that, we're only allowed to have 6 people on. Blame StreamYard.
Well, no, I would never have more than 6 people on, because I've seen what can happen when you have like 9 people, 10 people.
Yeah, it's a Discord. It's a goddamn Discord. Befuddle.
Is it a Christian Discord server?
Where everybody treats no one says no words.
I say no words, and I share Jesus memes. That's all I do in the Christian server.
You're a good Christian boy, Reese. Very good Christian boy.
I am. Have you heard the word of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
You have mentioned it from time to time.
Oh yeah, clearly I. Have you heard the good word of my son?
What, your son Kevin?
My rhymes are thick and my beats are bigger.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. Classic, man.
Yeah, dude, it's a classic.
And this video got instantly demonetized. Sorry. I'll make it up to you, Kevin. I'll send you.
Wait, we don't have monetization yet. We're not at 1,000 subs. That's why y'all got to go over to patreon.com/superpowerbroadcasting and show your support over there, so we could get these streams. We could get me an actual proper working desktop, so we can run these smoothly and everything. But
I don't have a working desktop, dude. What are you doing?
What's that?
I mean,
what?
I'm surprised you don't have a proper working desktop at this point.
Kevin is a IT boomer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a boomer with a ton of debt from school. I don't have the money to just go out and buy one. Otherwise, I would. So
don't you want to abolish all
store, you
debt?
can just steal some shit.
Yeah, no, that's true. Hey man, if I lived in Minneapolis, it wouldn't be a problem. I'd have 10 desktops, dude. I'd have 10 desktops if I lived in Minneapolis right now, because F the police, and it's a systemic system, institutionalizationized. Whatever
it's
the hell other means
in racism.
I think to be
that's a ticket. Yeah, that's a ticket. See, I feel like I would make a great defense attorney, because I'd be like, yeah, Your Honor, Johnny did rape Mrs. Johnson, but the system, kind of let him down a little bit. So, he's not really that guilty, is he? Yeah, that's the ticket. It was the systemic racism.
Here's the thing. Everyone here on the Superpower Broadcasting panel, let it be known about us. We are anti-systemic. We stand against systems.
100%. We're against systems.
With systems.
Just like Putin.
That's
Iran.
Why I stand with Iran and Venezuela. I'm very anti-systemic.
No, okay, Reese, I've got to say on that, I watched your video. I actually watched it twice. It was dope. Ben Norton describing the Iranian dictatorship as, I quote, anti-systemic, end quote, was honestly one of the cringiest things I've seen in recent memory. It was just, it was top tier cringe. Anti-systemic, not anti-imperialist. That's fucking junk. Anti-systemic. What?
If you stand against systems, you must stand with the Islamic Republic. It's a science. Let it be known. The Islamic Republic for life, my dudes.
Oh my god, man. Anti-systemic. Oh, Tibbs is here in the studio. See, again, I'm a boomer. I didn't even realize he was here because I had to scroll down. He's here. So we got Zoomers, we got Millennials, and we even have myself as the boomer, the honorary boomer.
Can I unload my webcam as well? I feel encouraged because Big Tibbs is
It's up to you. We always show a lot of avatars.
Turning cams on.
Cams on.
Oh, that is Sally. That's Sally in the chat. That's so funny. She's complaining about me saying the N-word.
That's not Sally. That's Cowley appropriating Sally's name. That's not. I haven't. Okay. My comp is so slow. I haven't been able to unban Sally yet. So we know that's not actually Sally. She's just trolling Sally.
Damn it! Man. Can we get some other women in here?
Yeah, we need female.
There's a bit of a cock fest in there,
dude.
Sausage fest.
Yeah, well, okay. I'm too busy to see female hawks right now. I need the foot soldiers to go out there and see if there are female hawks, because we definitely need to.
Don't say Claire Voltaire.
Get more female hawks on the panel.
She's already been grandfathered into this. Like,
we should get Richard, and he can try to bring on Nikki Haley. It'll never happen.
Yeah.
Please give me your milky, Miss Haley.
Okay, on that, I got a question. Well, we'll put it to you guys on the panel, and we'll put it to the patrons of the audience and the other people watching. What do you think of the idea? Even though we're a small channel right now, what do you think of the idea of actually reaching out to Ambassador Bolton's secretary and asking for an interview? Because I'm not sure if you charge money. You think it's crazy?
Impossible. However, I will say I do have a couple of connections to someone who has worked very closely with John Bolton. I've met him a couple of times.
Oh, dude, that's based in build.
There's someone who my dad knows, but I can make.
Wait a minute.
I don't really know him that well, though, so it would be really weird.
John, you just to clarify, you're a Jew, correct?
I am. Yes.
Okay. That's my only question. Continue.
trying to make some sort of imprint there.
Yeah, Reese just likes to know where all you are
I'm
at
just
all
giving
times.
some ammo for the gripers, man.
For the gripers. I'm surprised they're not here. Where are they? What are they doing?
I
You've
feel
got
like
the whole panel. You've got Nightmare Fuel. You got Mr. Bong. Mr. Bong called your daddy the Mexican Virgin. That's where I got that from. That's from Mr. Bong. Like,
I feel like
he's the OG.
They stopped like harassing you a long time ago. It feels like maybe we get like one person.
Well,
every now
they
and
still
then,
come in. They still come in. Like, we have more communists now. We have more Nazbols now. Well, I mean, Nazbol Nick is Nazbol, but you know what I'm saying. We got a lot of commies. We got a lot of obviously.
Right? You got a lot of those guys. The sock dems.
Wait, who's
Mexican Virgin is also.
Oh well, no. Okay, they're okay. Here's the funny thing. At this point on Twitter, I have about 20 times as many Globe Twitter sock dem neoliberals blocked as I do like Nazbols and socialists and stuff. Because honestly, the socialists and stuff, they might occasionally tweet something at me like "you evil warmonger" and then they'll go away. But the Globe Twitter people, they are relentless, dude. They're just like, I was looking through Nutso Lizz. I haven't posted about her or anything in a long time. It's been a couple months now. She's still tweeting about me every couple days. It's like, or not every couple days, like twice a day or so. I just go to her timeline like a couple days ago, and she's posting like Kevin Cassidy memes.
Living in the head rent free. That's the sign that you've driven someone crazy in this.
I must admit, yeah,
100%. And like, she still has the Patreon. She's still getting like $70 a month to defeat my channel. It's like, how's that going? We're getting week over week growth every week. So like, keep at it. So
I must admit, it's quite amazing how many people actually hate Kevin, because there's a bunch of Discords that I'm in, and I've seen a couple of their members having Kevin's face with the blown up ears as their avatar.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'm actually impressed with Kevin. I'm like, fucking hell, Kevin. The haters are about everywhere for you.
Yeah.
No, I know, but we also, but you know what comes with the territory is we get disproportionate support too. Because let's keep it real, how many channels are there out there with 300 subs or whatever? They're getting like $100 Canadian a month on Patreon. We got dedicated patrons right now that really want to make this a thing. Because we're coming for Kyle. We're coming for June. We're not going to stick around and go after like, nobodies with like 5,000, 6,000 subscribers. We're going to the top. We're going to take down the YouTube establishment. We're going to expose them for the isolationist pigeon shits that they are. So,
in all fairness to Lizz, though, I know you guys don't like her. I do respect her at least a little bit, because she did get into this tiff with H Bomber guy maybe about a couple months ago. I saw, and yeah. So he was basically advocating for so he was essentially advocating for what is the name of that? It's basically like the monetary policy where like debts don't matter, and you can just keep spending.
Modern monetary theory.
Yeah, MMT. So H. Guy was advocating for MMT, and then Lizz was like, "Yeah, no, that's crazy. Like that's like a pretty fringe theory, even amongst like expert economists." Yeah. So,
but she moves 20 miles left each day. She'll be there in like a month advocating for it.
I don't think so though.
I do find it strange, some of these social democrats, I guess. I don't know exactly what's keeping them from going full tanky. I really don't know. I couldn't be in the heads of these people. I don't know their moral codes necessarily.
I'm trying to be.
They're horny for Tanky Tulsi already. They're horny for Tanky Tulsi. I'll leave it at that. They're horny for Tanky Tulsi. Tanky Tulsi.
I guess
this woman right here.
I don't
this
like
goblin. This goblin.
This
dude.
goblin. I don't like
this goblin right here. I'm gonna get the meme. I'm gonna get the meme up so we can all know what we're talking about right now. This goblin. They're horny for this. They're horny for this right here. This is the state. This is the absolute state.
Well, I'm
this is the absolute someone neoliberal.
But Tulsi unironically says neoliberal bad though. So like I'm not understanding. I'm not really.
I don't think Lizz is a neoliberal necessarily. I think she just kind of likes the aesthetic. But what's interesting is I don't like this view of the left where basically it's okay. I'm doing this bare minimum. I'm super far on the left. I have all of these indefensible positions, but I take issue with Lenin. It's okay. That's like that thing. Like there are more modern issues, obviously, that are worth commenting on. And the thing I'd say about Lizz is, against H Bomber guy, obviously she's gonna make a better point. But I mean, I'll more be looking at that like, wow, Lizz made a good point for once, instead of like, wow, Lizz is the hero of capitalism.
I'm not elevating her to be some sort of hero. I'm just trying to be.
Yeah, no, I get it. Everyone's right at some point. But Lizz, the bottom line is Lizz is, she obviously is obsessed with Kevin, and she does not need $70 in Patreon SIP money.
Wait, because I don't know who this Lizz is. I must have missed something.
You're not missing out, man.
Well, I'm not missing out. I'm sure.
She's a cringe account that's obsessed with Kevin, and she gets money to tweet.
What?
She doesn't just get money to tweet. She literally has it there where she will block her biggest fans, and then they can pay $8 to her Patreon or to her PayPal rather to be unblocked.
In a way, that is kind of impressive. Like she's like,
it's impressive, but like Bill Crystal, man,
getting
Bill
money out of these dumbasses.
I gotta say, I like Bill Crystal. Bill Crystal was following her for like 3 months. Like I there's a big chance that Bill Crystal's introduction to me was through the lens of Nutso Lizz, and that's the only thing in all this. Like I don't care that she's got Patreon trying to defeat me and all this shit. No, what upsets me is that like. I don't get it. Obviously, he's not following her anymore. He realized that she was bunk and just, not a very serious person. But it's like, I mean, it was interesting. It was interesting to see, a high profile kind of guy like that following Globe Twitter drama. That's, so, I mean, I like Bill Crystal. I want to have him on the show eventually down the road, but that was, I mean, I'm sure he probably looks back on that as like, oh man, that's kind of yikesy, but yeah.
Well, he probably knows who
when it comes to people like,
even though he doesn't call you by name.
Because I think we're going to have to clean up our act in a major way before people like Bolton and Crystal come on here.
I was thinking about it. We got to be more professional, I think, maybe to some extent with the language by then. But I think that John Bolton genuinely would get a kick out of this. Like, I really think he would get a kick out of this meme right here. I think he would. I think he would. I think he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm only in Takey Tulsi.
That's fair enough. It's worth considering down the line. I agree with the principle of the idea of I want to be arguing with, people who actually matter, people who are known. And for the most part, I try to do that. I'm not always successful. I do argue with the little underlings sometimes, but like really, it does no one any good. You might as well just talk to the people who actually matter. And eventually those ideas, it's kind of like trickle down economics, except it's trickle down ideas. And eventually their followers will get the hint that that person got shamed and beaten intellectually.
Well, speaking of the pipsqueaks, there is one right here to try to wrestle with us or whatever. He says here, we all know who it is. He says, also, I know you're trying to meme, but any meme that pretends John Bolton is more attractive than Gabbard, which, by the way, that had nothing to do with attractiveness there. Like,
he's got to be trolling. There's no way.
No, dude, that's
too stupid.
No, dude, this is Spurgberger tier right now. He says here, but any meme that pretends.
Yeah, it sounds like a troll. Sounds like a troll comment.
No. This guy is actually he's Ant dude. This is Ant-Man.
He's not a troll, but he could be trolling here.
He says John Bolton is more attractive, loses all credibility instantly. It's like, okay, but this guy literally is a socialist. So
Guys,
I like how he said
gotta
By
get
the way, I
going.
would bring Henry on. Henry's in the studio, but we can only fit 6 people on here. So
I actually gotta get going.
Billy
now.
says he has to go.
It's late.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on, Billy.
Yeah, well, see
Stay
if
safe,
if I
Mr.
see you on
Fogg.
earlier sometime.
All right, well, see
Stay
ya.
safe,
Good
Mr.
to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you.
no,
Again,
absolutely.
my
I'm
man.
in the same time zone as you, so I'm probably gonna head on out soon as well.
All right,
Okay.
man.
Yeah, thanks for
Good to
coming on,
see you,
guys.
man.
Good to see you guys.
Period.
Yeah, definitely.
Good night.
Good night.
Mr. Bong, Nostrabongus.
Mr.
Bong
Bong.
is never wrong.
Yo, man.
I like how
Bong,
Milsro
for
said
now.
he said earlier in the chat that he would never be Henry. It's like, well, yeah, of course you'll never be Henry because Henry literally put his life at risk for this country, and you hate this country. It would be like completely antithetical. And here he is while I'm kissing his ass. What's up, man?
No, Henry's actually being in the military, so big up to Henry. Welcome to the show.
You seem to be upsetting people. What have you done?
I just got here. Who did I upset? I don't know.
Are you drunk again?
Well, you know, you guys have,
Yeah, it's Saturday night, man. It's late as fuck on Saturday, so yeah, I'm
Amen.
drunk. My bad.
No drunk shaming. No drunk shaming.
Too many streams, man.
I've been doing streams off my ass, dude. I've done so many that I ran out of StreamYard's hours. So
that's awesome. Have you? So wait, you didn't upgrade to premium?
Too.
No, I upgraded to premium. I had to do it. I had to because I was going to talk to this anarchist guy, and I was out of hours, and so it was like either I get the premium or I don't do it. And this is something we've been trying to do forever, like me and this anarchist dude. And then it got fucked. I don't know what happened. Like toward the end of it, well, the end of where it ended, I guess. I don't know. Like the guy's audio fell out or something. It was Zoomer Nation. Is who I was talking to.
Yeah, that's a woman, Henry. That's a woman, Henry.
Oh well.
She identifies as her.
My apologies, ma'am. But
so triggering, really.
Anyway, the stream, it was going good, I guess, but I don't know what the fuck happened. Like he lost audio partway through, and I don't fucking know. Maybe we can finish it sometime. We kind of went into the weeds about like moral philosophy and stupid shit, but I don't know. I thought it was fun.
No, I just want to say on the premium, on the whole premium thing, I just want to say for this channel, definitely big up to patron Wyatt, because his patronage alone covers the cost of premium StreamYard here. So big up to him. So
I used my COVID money, my virus money to buy premium.
Your Big Daddy Trump dollars, eh?
Oh yeah, Trump. Yeah, thank you, Daddy Donald.
We have to.
I haven't seen the stream, but I have to ask: Did Zoomer Nation talk about either Kevin or myself?
I'm sorry.
No. Actually, he never brought it up. We talked about anarchism was the topic, so he didn't ever bring it up. He was much less of a spurg than
what an
like
interesting
Mills
time to talk about anarchism.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
Well, I want to. I just want to address a comment. I just want to address a comment.
This is
from
not
Anthony Roberto. He says in the chat, if only Kevin would debate more. I have a policy. It's there. It's the debate me, bro policy. If you want to debate me, bro, it's $100 USD for an hour. I'll debate anybody for that.
You're charging? Holy shit, that's.
Yeah, dude, because I got better things to do with my time than talk with like Vaush and Kyle or whoever the hell it is.
It's more a deterrent than an invitation.
Yeah.
It's a deterrent.
That's the difference.
It's not
I welcome that. I'll take these people on. I'll interview them and have chats with them. More for my own.
Deal with the Yikes board. Yeah, no, dude, I had to deal with the Yikes board
for
6 years. for 6 years in university, man. I've seen a lot of toxic bullshit, a lot of just bad shit, isolationist pigeonry, and I'm pretty sick of it. And if they want to come here and they want to debate, it ain't free. And it ain't reasonable. The whole point is, as Nightmare Fuel notes, it's a deterrent. But at the same time, it's not $1 million. It's still within the bounds of reason, and we can still do it. It's just I gotta be compensated for it. And guess what?
We should have
I would rather
$1 million.
I'd rather talk with like Nightmare Fuel and these guys here for free than talk to Vosh for $100. Like, let's just keep it real. Vosh is cringe. Like that is an understatement.
If you could go on Vosh, it would boost your platform at least a little bit.
I find these weirdos kind of interesting, man. I don't know. Like, to me, it's interesting to like get down to like what they actually think. Like, it's as long as they're like amicable and not total cunts, which sometimes they are. Like, I've run into that.
That's hard. I mean, like, you're asking a lot there.
Yeah, well, some of them are just antagonistic, dickholes. But like when I talked to Zoomer Nation, he was totally cool and everything. Zoomer. Maybe I think the next on the list is Lizz. Maybe Maria the Witch might be another one.
God!
I got communist. Maybe I'll talk to that. What's that Jack Fleck guy? He's a fascist, right? Maybe I have to talk to him too. I don't know.
Oh man.
Yeah, no. Jack Fleck he's not. Jack Fleck isn't a fascist. He just hangs out with a lot of neo-reactionaries. He had me on his program.
The last stream I was watching of his, he was talking about performing a Holocaust on neocons. Or not him. He wasn't. He wasn't. To be fair, it was his guest. His guest was.
He said he tries to be neutral. He said he tries to be neutral.
Yeah, and he's also, from my understanding, he's legitimately like actually autistic. Like, he has some mental disability. So like maybe I shouldn't talk to him. I don't know.
I think Tibbs was trying to say something. I don't think I can hear his microphone. Yeah, I can't hear him.
Oh shoot, we can't hear Tibbs.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, Tibbs is muted right now. It says can't unmute. It says can't unmute your guest. Okay, there. It says his mic wasn't connected. But now it says that this is unmuted.
Yeah, it could be his microphone.
Yeah, I see that.
That's my guess.
I'm hearing music.
Yeah. I don't see any pole dancers.
Oh man.
Just a bunch of men.
I would say that now is not the best time for anyone to be defending anarchism. I'm just going to throw that opinion out there. Maybe
why would that be
a year ago it would have been interesting. I'm just saying, like, they'll be saying one thing. They'll be saying, oh yeah, this is going to lead to, a great reform and great changes. And then like we can turn on the news and watch America burn and say, I don't think so. I think this doesn't look great.
Yeah.
This isn't going to lead to anywhere good, honestly.
I just want to talk about Henry's point there about how it's interesting to see how these people think. I've talked about it on this program before, back when I was in high school and in the early part of university. I literally hung out with both communists and literal fascists, like, reactionary and Republican fascists. And, I was curious to see how they think and everything. And, I spent a couple of years kind of, learning their worldview and all that. I've seen it. I've debated with people and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of exhausted of a lot, to be honest. And that's why I prefer to talk with the friends and fans by and large. And Mills Rose out here saying like, oh, rather doesn't want his views to be challenged or whatever. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? People challenge my views all the time. I just don't usually bother to acknowledge them because they're usually cringe mongers and pigeon shit. So
I challenge your views all the fucking time.
Yes.
Well, Henry's an exception. Henry's not a pigeon shit. Henry's based, but
So what Kevin just said, I agree with 100%. My problem is I get like, I know someone or I know of someone, I'm like, yeah, I'd like to chat with them because they talk about a subject I know about. Normally it's about Islam or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get them on for a chat. And then I start asking them questions about other things. And I'm like, oh, great. This was a fucking shit show. I wish I didn't bother now. Because it's mainly like when it comes to everything else.
I think the thing is, like, there's certain people I totally, like, I can disagree with, and I can have, issues with, and political disagreements, but it comes down to, like, you're being a fucking spurgy cunt, and, like, then it's hard to, like, get along with you. Like, if you're not a normal, like, amicable person, like, I can have all sorts of issues, but, like, certain people are just toxic assholes, and it's hard to like get along with those dudes.
Well, I mean, if
totally unrelated, I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing people who don't match that description at all. Please continue.
I like Dirty Dancer's comment here. He says Alien Mills Rose is a simp.
That's his highest status in life. That's all he can really hope to be.
Well, they're saying, didn't he like come on here once or whatever? It's like, yeah, Milsrow came on, and he also came on and actually managed to weasel his way into a debate with not just me, but also the guy King of Warmongers. That's because Henry brought him on, and he got his one chance, and he blew it. If you watch it, he shat the bed. He literally shat the bed. He blew it, dude.
Now, yes.
Nightmare fool.
Nightmare fool. Yes, I'm going to tell you about the systems.
I don't even think I don't even think that's the real Mills Row. I think that's the fake account, honestly.
Does he have?
Wait, so it's yours?
If that is a fake, you're a saint, honestly. Like,
well, no, I'm saying if probably I would assume multiple people in here probably have made sock accounts of Alien Mills Row.
What are you talking about, man?
I don't know. I'm not suggesting that everyone watching this right now should make sock accounts to imitate Mills Row. I'm not saying
with the real Mills Row, please stand up. With the real Mills Row, please stand up. Oh man,
it beats my Heimsker account. That's for damn sure.
Oh. I mean,
wait, Melrose asking, see, this is how you know it's kind of like Spurgburger going on right here, because he's asking, what does simp mean? Genuinely curious.
I refuse to believe a guy who must spend as much time online as Mills Row doesn't know what a simp is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. He knows. There's no...
I'm not.
What is a simp?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, you're.
Again, big tips.
Well, let's move on from him.
Oh, we got a comment here from Twitch. Yeah, actually.
Oh yeah, everyone should follow Kevin on Twitch. How are you doing?
Yeah, you gotta go follow me on Twitch, dudes. The link is in the description. We only have one viewer on Twitch right now.
I never use Twitch, but let me do that right now to help you get monies.
Just following helps.
Thank you.
For sure.
Just following helps, man. I mean, obviously, we need 3 viewers average for the month as well. Anytime we're live, in addition to 50 followers to get affiliate status. We're at I think 1 viewer average for the month. Sometimes it's 10, other times it's 0.1. That sort of thing.
Keep in mind.
But yeah, definitely Twitch is where it's at. YouTube is onerous. YouTube is trying to shut out new voices. YouTube is trying to make people give up on their dreams, basically. Twitch is the future in that sense. Twitch is based. So definitely go and make an account on Twitch if you haven't done so yet. Get Zoomy. So
yeah, I just followed.
I like this. I like this comment. I hate Reezy's medieval times character 10 times as much as Sally. I will bring it back. I will bring back that character.
Prophet of Talos.
I think
the Prophet of Talos. I can't even do his voice.
One thing I am glad about in terms of my avatar is that I totally trashed it, because then I was getting comments on my old avatar like, "Why is your avatar in blackface?" Which wasn't the intention there.
Oh, that's right. I think you explained it to me once, but I don't remember the explanation.
The story behind it was I was trying to make a character for my channel, and I had Microsoft Paint in front of me, and black is the default color. It had an image, so I drew over the image in black, and it painted the eyes in white. So when I do that, I didn't make the association, oh, this could be blackface, but I got some comments about that. I'm just
well, see, that's just your privilege speaking, man.
Maybe it is, but
you don't have to worry about violence like blackface because of your non-black privilege. Have you ever thought about that?
Never thought about it. You learn something new every day.
You just make whatever avatar you want.
well,
everything is blackface, and you have to call it out.
I'm glad I got someone to draw what I actually look like in real life as like my new avatar. So I'm happy about it. Pay a little money, but
oh yeah, no, I like the new one. Your new one's kind of like otaku.
Yeah,
man,
the artist actually if you know anything about like the Persona series, it kind of looks like I'm like 10 times more attractive and I'm like a character of that series. So,
oh man.
So basically, like all avatars on Twitter.
Well,
like,
yeah,
like you see a cartoon avatar, and you're like, that looks way too good.
That's the cool part.
Hey, Reese.
Hey, man, don't be down and do stuff like that.
Yeah,
I do want to just address a comment earlier about
everyone needs to leave.
No, I do just want to address a comment about how, you know, if I did spend time debating the yikes lords and the cringe mongers like Vosh and Kyle and those types of people, that it would gain notoriety or get my channel more viewership. It's like, here's what would happen. The sub count would go up, and now in the chat, it would all be a bunch of like communists and shit. So it's like not like we would gain hawks from like our hawks watching Vosh, but don't know about superpower broadcasting. So I mean, probably not.
I don't know, man.
So,
Kevin, there's like there are tons of hawk communists. Like, don't know if you know, hawks and communists, like two big communities
you know
integrated.
There are a lot of hawk communists. They just happen to support, you know, the foreign policy of America's enemies, past and present.
Yeah,
that's true.
They'll say they're against hawks and imperialists, but
I mean,
if you're a tanky, you are by definition an imperialist.
Yeah, any true tanky is a hawk, like a war hawk. I mean,
I want the whole chat to be filled with. It needs to be filled with thirst comments for John. Okay, I don't like the way he's ragging on his image. He's a handsome young man. We need some thirst, horny COVID posts for John. Let's make this happen.
Thanks, man. Thanks for.
Hey, we do have the frogs in here.
Thanks for being
the frogs.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at that.
The frogs showed up. We got Paleo Conservative here again. He says, "Hey, Kevin, the neocons are losing. They aren't popular anymore." And then he proceeds to ask, "Who's the skeleton? Isn't he like a leftist or something?"
Who's the skeleton? Wait a minute. His name.
No, he knows who you are, though. I've seen this account. He's one of Nick's.
That's gotta be a troll. That's a troll.
Isn't he like a leftist or something? Good God. Wait a minute. You're a groiper and your username is Paleo Conservative? Could you not have like thought for 5 more seconds for a better name? Like, that'd be like me having an account called just, you know, imperialist or militaristic. Like, good God. Never make videos because they'll be shit.
It'd be like me just having, you know, not young neocon, not the liberal neocon, just neocon. Just like, okay, that's kind of simple.
There he is, the like, neocon.
It'd be like if Bernie Sanders changed his name to Democratic Socialist. Like, okay, that's weird, but I mean, oh man, no, these frogs. They're not clever. There's a reason why they all move in unison and why the only time they venture outside of mom's basement is to go and stand in line to speak to Charlie Kirk and ask him a question about Jews bad, basically. It's because they're not bright, they're not clever, they don't have any original ideas, they don't know how to win, they can't figure out how to like even make a modicum of success for themselves in the West, the easiest society to win it. They can do it, they can't do it. So they need their daddy, and they base their identity and their purpose off of being henchcucks for Daddy Nazbol Nick. And here's the thing that's funny. Daddy Nick is like 20 years old, and he's still I mean, he gets all their money, so like, I mean, I guess he's clever in that respect, but yeah, I mean,
oh man, I am Neocon, destroyer of worlds.
Yeah, I am Neocon, destroyer of pigeons. You know,
you should highlight Millsro's comment talking about me. I'll respond to that.
Which one? He's always talking about you.
The most recent one. That
are you sure that's the real Millsro? I mean,
hey man, I'm the real Millsro. So I'm actually I am Millsro responding to Millsro. This sounds really cunty, so I'm guessing it's the real Millsro.
Yeah, it could be.
Jesus Christ, you right, my guy. The only people who disagree with you are tankies. Nightmare Fool. Oh yeah, that's what that, you know, like this is the thing. Like, you have to wonder with a guy like Millsro, is he trolling? Like, is he either he's being stupid or he's being very disingenuous. And you can never really tell with guys like him. That was obviously not. It wasn't the the interpretation is off that I was suggesting the only people who disagree with me are tankies, especially because I just was making fun of a paleo conservative. You fucking idiot. Okay, we're done. That's enough. Because it's like, what are you supposed to say, man?
I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's Progressive Apostate. Great guy. Hope he's doing well in New York. We should have asked Billy while he was here, because not a good time to be in New York City.
No, y'all had to be in any city, to be quite honest.
Oh, Billy was here.
Well, I don't know about
he was here very briefly.
I was worried about him. I thought Billy was dead, man. I haven't heard from that guy in forever, man.
If he is dead,
the COVID got him. I thought like he'd been gone for months.
If he's dead, that was a master, impressionist, basically. But I'm pretty sure it was the real him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from him for a long time. I just thought he was gone.
Mate, I was shocked, I'll tell you, right? One of my favorite YouTubers put out a fucking video the other day. I was just like, whoa!
Who was that?
Nightmare Fuel. He put a video
out. Oh, right.
I
thought
you did. I forgot. You did. I haven't fully watched it yet. I
haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need to have a little spifter to watch it.
Hey.
So I'm gonna wait until I go over my mates because I can't smoke in my house no more. So I'm gonna go over my mates' house
right now. Reese, don't judge us.
No, man. See, the thing is,
we'll get around to it.
You shouldn't watch it because it sets this precedent that I'm gonna have to upload something again. It was more like a fuck it video, like, I haven't made a video in a while. Let's see.
We demand more content, Reese.
Yeah, I made a video recently as well, but it wasn't politics related. I mean,
I'm gonna have to actually go on Patreon and Patreon you some dollars to get you to fucking make more videos.
Hey man, maybe you will.
I haven't made a video in a long ass time either. I've done streams. That's a lot easier.
Well, those are technically videos, sir.
Well, yeah, I guess technically, but it's not the same as like, what goes into a fucking video. Like you have to like do responses and edit the fucking thing, and I haven't done something like that in a fucking while.
Yeah, another revival. I stopped that kind of content long ago. Right after.
I still plan to do it. I still plan to do it in the future. It's just so easy doing streams, especially with StreamYard. Like I can just watch the freaking video and respond to it in real time. It's not as good as like a pre-made video where you can edit the audio and all of that. No, I'll still
streams
do
are the
videos
future.
eventually. Well, I don't know, because videos.
Streams are the future.
Well, no, like the pre-recorded videos, as far as my experience has always been pre-recorded videos that you edit and do audio and all of that. They get a lot more views. People like to watch them more. It's just more consumable than like 4-hour-long streams, like I've done. Like for the past week.
The 4-hour stream we did, like the most popular video on the channel in the last 2 weeks was the police abandoning Minneapolis. It was like a 3-hour stream on this channel. We got like 500 views or whatever for it. So it's like you can get views with streams. People do like streams. That's the thing is that
just
people I got a lot of views on that. On that one, I did get a lot of views. I think it was because that was just such a like I was streaming live footage and it was a crazy fucking thing. But
how many?
I never got like on like pre-recorded videos. I would get like thousands of views versus like streams. It's like
Wait, how many subs did you have on your older channel, Henry?
On the previous one, I think I had like 200, something like that.
Oh, you were getting thousands of views. Damn. Per video. That's good.
No,
That's good.
not per video. I would have certain videos that would get thousands of views, and that was also before. Even when I had a channel before that, I had a couple channels before that that were smaller even, and I had certain videos that would get like thousands of views that would just randomly blow up. But it's not the same way now. I think that YouTube fucking hates the sort of shit that we talk about, and then so
your older channels, that was like really during the heyday of
Red Rebel.
That was way back, and it was small, but that was also back when they weren't so restrictive. So like I could put out a video like talking shit about something, and then it would blow up. It was more free. And it would get thousands of views, and it's a small, tiny channel. But I did a lot more music videos back then, and those get a lot more views too. People seem to like those more.
Well, I think that's how Chris Ray Gun basically got his big in. So he made these like really edited.
Oh yeah. His shit's really good. I never did anything that
video type of things.
I can't stand that guy. I just want to slap
Kevin's YouTube channel is the new
SJW the musical.
Well, why don't you like Chris Ray Gun?
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that assessment.
Really?
He's a progressive cunt, basically.
Well, he is now.
Yeah,
he used to be fucking cool.
Oh no, he's never been cool. He just comes across as like some autistic spurg on the internet and doing like cringy shit, in my opinion.
Really? I liked his back in the SJW wars. He put out some good videos. I thought
SJW war.
Nah.
You remember from like in 2015 or what was it? It was 2016, 2017. I don't know. I thought he put out good shit.
He's been active since like 2014.
Well, he started dating Lacey Green, so I don't know how that affected him.
I mean, I don't like his politics very much. I generally like his commentary content, though. I mean, I don't think he's a decent comedian.
No, I don't. I don't even find him funny at all.
It's pretty like 101 stuff.
Well, I'm not saying that like. I'm not saying I like his politics or like his political content per se, but I do like he's been doing more like general commentary content, which I mean his I guess I like him because like his style is sort of is inspired by JonTron, and I liked JonTron's comedy style quite a bit. So I don't know.
Yeah, I can say that.
I guess it's like the difference between someone based on their politics versus like looking at someone based on their, comedic delivery,
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I like
this comment
from Chris Ray Gun, I liked his music videos, like the songs he did. and he's done some more recent ones, but
like the one about punching a Nazi he got canceled for recently.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it's some stupid drama shit with BreadTube that it's not even worth entertaining at this point.
Oh my god, fuck BreadTube, dude. They're the bane of the fucking earth. I hate that crowd. I
think they might be one of the most disingenuous groups of people on the internet.
Most toxic, oh god, like they're straight up, they're like anarchists and fucking communists that they're trying to get people banned for like normal like fucking liberal people. They're gonna try and get banned because they think they're fucking fascist. And, like, it's the most insane shit I've seen. Like, they disgust me. I fucking hate the bread-tubers, the left-tubers, lefty, Twitter, whatever the fuck you call them. Those people fucking sicken me.
Yeah,
they're all clearly communists. Like,
they have
this
extremist like, political views, and they have their extremist political views. Yet they're trying to get people that are like basically normal, like fucking censored off of fucking YouTube because they said they made some fucking joke or like did something. It's just like didn't they even they fucking like ran what's her name fucking ContraPoints. They ran fucking ContraPoints off Twitter. Like
they ran her off Twitter.
ContraPoints can't fucking survive. How the fuck is someone like any of us gonna get by? Like, come on.
She's still making like YouTube content.
She came back, but they fucking went after her ass. It's so goddamn hard. Like, it's sickening.
I like this comment from Kirk Wilcox. He says, what's wrong with
you? Thank God.
Pro bread and pro tube.
Big up to Big for his
I want to put out a PSA that all Sally Thomases and Mills Rose in the chat are clearly fake. So don't trust it because it has the name.
Fake news.
It's very fake. Those are not Spartacus. We can move on.
I'm okay with Sally Thomas. Fake. Sally Thomas likes my interviews, so.
Yeah, I don't get why she likes you, but she doesn't like me. But whatever.
I'm a progressive hero, I guess.
She probably likes your interviews because you platform insane people that she agrees with.
Arthur's the real Sally. Oh man,
Sully. No, her name is Sully. Confirmed.
Sully.
Like the blue monster from Monsters Incorporated.
Hey, I got that reference.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. That reference. I'm sorry. I keep making.
I'm the real Sally. These comments are genius. I love you people. You're so funny. I am Mills Rose. That's a fake Mills Rose. No way. Not buying it. No way in hell. Anyway,
you have an interesting.
Do we have any comments to respond to?
A lot of names I recognize in this chat, like Kirk Wilcox.
Someone in the Twitch stream chat is asking Kevin to ask me about my desire to colonize Ash Shaka. She's a black. Is she black or is she Muslim? Anyway, she's an ethnic. She is gorgeous. She is a communist, but we just ignore her stupid political beliefs. But she's gorgeous, and I would bang her. Like, whoo, beautiful woman.
Hey, man, gorgeosity can go a long way to, gloss that over.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Well, are you gonna call it? Are you gonna colonize her?
Hell yeah.
Christ. Are we having a problematic neo-colonial discourse? No,
yes,
I heard.
It's a pro-colonialist stream now.
Mm-hmm.
I like this comment
doing his ancestors proud.
Yeah.
No, I like this comment back here from Paleo Conservative. He says, "I don't like bread tube either." What a surprise! Because of course he likes Nazi tube. So.
Dude, it's like I haven't really been checking out.
Good.
All that recently. Is Nazis Tube still a thing? Like I don't even know anymore.
I don't know.
They probably mostly moved the D live at this
people
point.
who are into it, right? But
yeah, I guess
I don't know whose account is still around, honestly.
Didn't Fuentes' account get kicked? Is that right?
Yeah, he's on D Live now, I think, unless he got banned from there.
Wow.
He had to go into D Live.
Yeah, if you get
he's on TikTok
too. Live, that's a signal that nobody.
No, but he's on TikTok, dude. You can follow Nick Fuentes on TikTok. I guess he's red pilling consumers on.
Oh, that's right.
No, because not so Lizz. Okay, this is some old story time drama, but anyway, if you guys will recall, about 3 months ago on Twitter, she, and I think this was before I had blocked her, she posted or she responded to somebody who had a screenshot of Nick Fuentes doing a little dance on TikTok with the Groiper or Froggo toad emojis and stuff in the background, and she responded like, yeah, not gonna lie, he's kind of hot, and that kind of blew up. And I think that was the moment. I think Bill Crystal unfollowed her right around then. But anyway, she kind of got like ratioed over that comment, and I was like, so he's on TikTok now, and it's like, yeah, so he's on TikTok because he got banned from YouTube. So now he's on TikTok, I guess, telling people that like
a lot of
Jews
these commies and Nazis are on fucking TikTok, mate. It's there's so many of them on there.
Well, yeah, okay, boomer girl or okay, liberal girl. Like, oh my god, dude, there's so many layers of cringe.
Yeah.
It's like a layer cake of cringe, man. It's a binge of cringe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess it's sort of feeding into like pop politics, where it's like trying to sell political opinions on like a on like a Papa John's pizza box, you know?
Yeah. All I can think of is that fucking Pepsi.
Hey man, don't steal
now.
my ideas.
Oh man, I do want to talk about the Ice Cube tweet though. That Ice Cube tweet, unbelievable. I mean, I just gotta say.
Oh, he tweeted an anti-Semitic image.
Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Is he, part of the Nation of Islam.
No, but he hangs out with members of Nation of Islam.
It would not surprise me if he was, but I don't know.
Because that's something like Nation of Islam would tweet out.
He's pimped a lot of their rhetoric, so he may as well be like an honorary.
Even in rap in general,
given his platform,
there's a lot of like conspiracy bullshit in a lot of rap for some reason. I don't know, like a lot of rappers buy into like this whole idea of the Illuminati and stuff. Like it's
like Immortal Technique and shit, dude.
Yeah,
like Immortal Technique is like Jesse Ventura tier cringe, dude.
I
mean, if you look at his stuff,
I like his music, but like I don't like his messaging. If you know what I mean. Like I like I like what's that band? Rage Against the Machine. I love Rage Against the Machine, but a lot of their music I don't agree with the messaging. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Are they like super like anarchist types?
Yeah, basically anarcho-communist type. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Killing in the Name of is a great song.
Yeah, that is true. It's crazy how many musicians and artists are fucking commies. This is why I kind of agree with like the alt-right a little bit. Yeah, right?
To be fair, I wouldn't call them communists. I just call them communist apologists. That's probably the more accurate term.
All right, yeah. So this is why I kind of like that the alt-right in Britain has started doing their own version of art and culture, and I'm like sat over here just going, they've got some good art because they're not putting too much politics into it all, and they're just all about the art.
I mean, that's sort of the point of YouTube is like
the Ice Cube thing is not.
I mean, you've seen some of Snoop Dogg's
the Ice Cube thing is not surprising.
Oh yeah, fucking Snoop Dogg can be anti-white and everything, and I love Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is my hero. He is my legend. And yeah,
Snoop Dogg is definitely part of the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's Nation of Islam?
Yeah. When people were pointing out that pastor, I forget his name, Snoop Dogg.
Elijah Muhammad?
I believe so.
I mean, that was Malcolm X's protege, was Elijah Muhammad. Who's dead. I think he got whacked by his own people. Malcolm X got whacked by those guys. So
right.
It's a long tradition.
Yeah.
Of betrayal.
Well, it's like 4:00 in the morning.
No one should be shocked by this at all. It's like we like to think there's a lot of dogging on white people. You should see a lot of like New York area, inner city, black culture soaked in Nation of Islam shit.
Oh,
absolutely soaked in it. You can't get away from that.
Yeah, I feel like in the black communities, though, I feel like that's sort of like a prime place for religion to. It kind of creates like this black hole where, like, you have all these families that are just disjointed, and then you have, it sort of like allows religions like Christianity and Islam to sort of fester.
Well, then you have the
its own thing though. That's like a cult. It's a little bit different than just like your general Christian black people who can also be very anti-white.
Then you have like the Pan-Africanism movements that are kind of weird too.
The Hebrew Israelites.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a different thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They're fucking crazy as well. Them lot.
They'd more be in line with Nation of Islam, but it is still like alarming to see someone with a platform as big as Ice Cube share that. Luckily, I think most people were posting comments like, "Dude, what the fuck? Like, this is not okay."
But it's not the first time Ice Cube's done it. I don't think he. I don't know with Ice Cube because it's not the first time he's done this. It's like the second or third time that he's done this, and he keeps doing it. So maybe he is just an anti-Semite.
Well, he's clearly sympathetic. He's sympathetic. He's said so in there's quotes of him out there talking up Farrakhan, talking about like look what the Jews did to us, the blacks in America.
Yeah. The Jews didn't do nothing to the blacks in America. Is that
if anything, they helped stand with the civil rights movement.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but they believe this bullshit that's put out by the alt-right, the white nationalists that say, "Oh, it was the Jews that funded us white people to buy them black people from the black people in Africa." And it's like, no, you fucking idiots. The Jews had nothing to do with it.
Well, Suzuki. Okay, you guys, Suzuki. You can follow him over on Twitter. He's member of the Hot Gang and all this stuff. He showed us in the chat much earlier today, a comment, and it was somebody unironically claiming that the Americans and the Jews funded Hitler.
Ooh, that's a new one I haven't heard of.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's a new one.
No, it's not. I've heard that one all before.
I guess they were making the point that it was wrong to intervene in World War II and all this, and you knew like it was basically just a ploy because the Jews, they were funding Hitler and all this sort of stuff and everything, and it's like they were controlling America, and it was basically like. I
mean, speaking of World War II, Happy D-Day, everybody! I guess it's a little late. It depends on the time zone, I guess, but.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. It's D-Day plus one for me.
The boys storm in Normandy were clearly the Antifa of their day.
I've seen a couple of those takes.
I mean,
I've seen people saying, "Oh, this is Antifa." It's the same thing, right?
We can obviously make fun of it, but hey, I'm gonna say this: at the very least, I have never seen so many Bernie bros actively defend American militarism. Like, it's kind of amazing. Like, as soon as they're convinced, as soon as the enemy is a white fascist, like, they are hawks. If that's what it takes,
Hey,
man.
Reed.
If that's what
Yeah, if it's something like deep in the annals of history, they're okay with it, I guess.
Well, now we just need to frame Vladimir Putin as a white supremacist, and all the Bernie Bros would be in our.
That's the strategy.
We have a side conversation. You guys, it's come back inevitably. It's come back. Paleo conservative here is now having a side convo with Millsrow, fake Millsrow, and says, "Do you know about the USS Liberty?"
Jews?
My USS stream and have them.
I don't want to know what Millsrow thinks about the USS Liberty. I'm just we're not gonna platform that.
Oh God.
I just don't want to know. I'm just keeping it real here, man.
Well, it's like 4 o'clock in Eastern time, and I should probably go to sleep. So
pussy.
Yeah, I know, right? I know,
What
right?
are you on about? I live in the real time zone. It's 11 a.m.
Yeah, he's waking up for
the real time zone.
Go fuck yourself, dude.
Man,
all right.
shots fired.
Listen out. All right, see you guys.
Take care.
Yeah,
later, man.
We'll send you some thirst DMs later.
Please do. I need them.
Send you all the nudes.
See you.
Send me all the nudes, please.
Okay, I'll send you a dick pic
Hashtag
or
send
two.
John nudes.
Big up John. He hasn't come on the channel in a long time, I think. You know, John Neocon right there, base Hawk. So, you know, John Smith's basement. You can go. Yeah, you can go because I made the meme a while ago. I was making like a sock account, and it was like John Neocon over on Facebook, and then John was just like, "That's literally me," because he's John and he's a neocon, so it works. So
what's his Twitter handle, Kevin?
His Twitter handle is John Smith's basement, if I recall, right?
That was his YouTube channel was called that. Oh.
Yeah, okay. You can follow him at John Smith's and then BSMT. That's his handle.
Oh yeah,
definitely go follow. Very cool, dude. Very cool, dude. I love the PaleoCon line. I'm just asking questions. That's what they always do. It's like we're just frogs asking questions. It's like you're coming into the den of. You're coming into the den of the Hawks. I got news. This is what happens when a toad or when a froggo goes up against a nightmare fuel in particular right here. We actually have a picture of it. This is from 2017 right here when he was terrorizing Tulsi and her baby Bashar. But we also have another image here. This is what also happens to them right here. So you see, that is, of course, I've spoken about this before. You look at the nonchalant demeanor on the part of our feathered friend, the hawk, right here. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's just another day, just another meal. But to that little froggo there, that PaleoCon, that's the end of his world, dude. It's the end of his world. So it doesn't work out very well when frogs go up against hawks. So.
Oh yeah, no, they have
Hawk
no
eat
argument.
I was going to say something, but I can't.
He's here to study the neocon argument, so he knows how to defeat neocons.
That was it. So you know how they're always like, just asking questions, bro. Just asking questions. You know, how do you bake 6 million cookies in this period of time?
Just a thought experiment, bro.
Just want to know about making cookies, bro. Just, you know, how do you make the cookies?
Why would you think it's about anything else? I'm clearly talking about.
The thing is, right? Yeah, when it comes to that cookie conversation, when you do the math on, because the thing is, right, is they don't even talk about the full number of people that died during the Holocaust. Sorry, I mean the full number of cookies that were made. They only talk about a small number, the 6 million of cookies that were made, right? When you actually do the math of the whole number, it still points out that they are so wrong, and they can't even do basic math, because a little math workout in about 30 seconds would kind of show you how you could do it. And how they did do it.
It's eating the frog, dude. There's literally a hawk here eating the frog. This is what happens when they go up against us. Look at that. Savage.
That should be like your intro video, Kevin. Kevin, that should be your intro video to every stream. Every stream, Kevin should open a stream up starting off with this video.
That's Nick Fuentes' fan right there. He was an avid follower of Nick Fuentes. Look at what happened to him. He used to watch his streams. He used to give him Streamlabs. Look at what happened to him. That's right there. That's Sean Bolton. That's Sean Bolton right Look at him. Just chowing down, dude. Just chowing down. You can see it in his eyes.
Hit up.
You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in the bird's eyes. You know he's red. You know that he's red like Gene Kirkpatrick and shit. You know it. It's like there's no doubt, dude. You love to see it, man. You love to see it
in his eyes.
You can see it in their eyes. Oh man, I mean, we even had close up. This was him after he had finished his meal right here. And he's like, "You looking at me? You want to go next? You looking at me?" Like, he's red Gene Kirkpatrick, dude. Like, that.
They're
shit,
pretty
dude.
Damn majestic. Somebody should hit up Progressive Apostate with a link. By the way, he's asking for one.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. We'll bring on Mike. Absolutely,
100%.
We're gonna bring on Mike. We got a star-studded lineup for you, for everybody tonight, for the fans, for the friends, for the haters and traitors. We got a base lineup. Okay, we're gonna send him the link.
I'm such a star, so fabulous.
Make more videos, please.
Well, no, we do have one.
I just made a video, damn it.
More.
More. It will never be enough.
I'll put my my Nightmare Fuel shirt on.
All right, that's a good touch. This paleo-conservative guy he says, oh, his name is Nightmare Fuel. He was calling me the skeleton.
He figured it out. Dude.
I can debate you. You're a paleocon. Why the fuck would I debate you? What do you want to? Why would I? What are we going to talk about? Are we going to talk about the USS Liberty? You Nazi fuck! No.
He's going to talk about cookies. He just wants to talk about baking.
He just wants to talk, man.
To talk about recipes.
Hell no.
Just wants to talk about math.
No.
Yeah, no. We sent Mike the link, so Mike, if you're listening right there, you can come on the stream.
We're gonna trigger paleo-conservative even more because we're inviting a Jew in.
It's Nightmare Fuel. It's Nightmare Fuel on the shirt. That's literally the shirt. He's rocking the Teespring.
I get it. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your purchase. I hope you like it. Teespring has good. They've got good material, I think.
Yeah, PaleoCon. I'm not bringing you on. Why would I bring you on? Like, that's not how this works. It's my channel. It's not your channel.
Hashtag Jews over PaleoCons.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Mike on here because he's a cool guy. And that's when Millsrow comes in. Millsrow's going to come in and say,
you only bring on people who agree with you. It's an echo chamber.
Yeah, you guys just want to have an echo chamber.
Yes. It's that meme. Yes, I do want an echo chamber. Yes.
It's literally the meme. I'm going to bring up the meme. It's literally this meme. Where is it? No, do I have the blank one? No, I don't have the blank template. So we'll have to use a derivative of that meme. But this one right here, I'm a fan of this one. I really like this one. Arthur made this one, if I recall. So
somebody should make one of these where it's Millsrow on the left saying you want an echo chamber, and then me on the right just says yes.
Yes.
Somebody make
that. I love that meme. I love that meme because it's just everything about that. It just encapsulates so well the vibe that you go for, right? And speaking of vibe, we got a vibe check at hand right here. We got the vibe check, so.
Okay, I don't get this one. Is this a new meme? Am I the boomer now?
This one with the drone?
Yeah, I don't get vibe check. What's going on?
You gotta check your vibe. What
does that mean?
They should make one for ego. It's ego check.
No, well, okay. Neither of us. Like, let's be honest. We've been busy. Reese obviously has been on hiatus, but I can assure you, he has not checked his ego on hiatus, and neither have I. I mean, I haven't been on hiatus.
No ego checking and no privilege checking.
Ego. You know who checks his ego? Mayor Frey earlier today, and look at what happened to him. I mean, we're not going to watch the clip again because it's kind of long, but if I had just a 10-second segment of them booing him when he refuses to go 125 miles when he already went 124 miles for them, prostrating himself before the mob, that guy checks his ego every day. He checks his privilege. He checks his ego. We're not in the business of checking our egos here. That's not what we do. That's not what we do. We're the hot gang. The hot gang right here. So
his name is Mayor Fry. Get it right, sir.
No, I think it's Frey. I think it's Frey. The WCCO crew said Frey, and they live in that city, so I'm going with their pronunciation. But oh man,
oh, then like the people doing the actual segment messed up.
No serious Democrat's going to suggest abolishing the police, though.
That's not even a position.
We'd have to look into it.
Well, I mean, except they
there
have.
Were people.
Yeah, it's starting to become a serious thing. They're talking about. No, politicians in power are talking about doing it in certain cities.
Omar is not a serious.
No, not her. I'm talking about mayors. I'm talking about governors.
I agree.
I'm talking about defunding the police. They're talking about that seriously in many places.
Oh, he's stewing. He's whining and crying. PaleoCon here says the chat needs to rise up against the Hawks. Like, what? Like, who in the chat? It's gonna rise up. These are Hawks, dude. These are big Hawks.
I'm like 80% sure that Paleo Conservative is trolling. Like he came in here and he asked about like the USS Liberty. I'm like, come on, you gotta be trolling.
No, but a literal PaleoCon who watches Nick Fuentes would ask that. That's the thing. They always bring up the USS Liberty. That's why you can't tell. You literally can't tell if he's like legitimate or just trolling. Because he could be a Hawks hawk. You don't know. So
Sally said Nightmare Fuel ego is through the roof. She's not even aware of how much of a meme she just became by saying that.
Oh, wait, we have to bring that up. Where I see it right here. Yeah, that's going to be the pinned comment. No, for sure.
Oh, so clueless. What a clueless woman, honestly.
Hey, I still like Sally Thomas. She enjoys my interviews, so cool with me.
Who's her profile picture, though?
This comment gets it right. Reese has a life. Reese has a life, a job, and he gets pussy at Paleo Conservative.
Has a basement. Hot pockets, man, more hot pockets, and a Nick Fuentes body pillow. With a hole in the back. Oh man, that is
you guys are way more savage than we can't even hope to compete.
That's not really an image that I needed in my head before I go to sleep. So.
That guy needs to become.
You should have made the dildo bigger.
No, yeah, that's what the problem was with that.
Hashtag make the dildo bigger.
This is a comeback. Does anyone watch that Nightmare Fuel?
I don't know.
Hey, Reese, you just said you got no audience. No audience. 10,000 subs, but no audience. No.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm not known. People haven't watched my videos at all.
People were triggered by him. Even though he hasn't made videos for like 3 months, people were still complaining and whining and crying about Nightmare Fuel just the other day on like LeftTube and stuff. They really don't like him, so you know. So
that goes to show you my impact. I know I thought I was beloved by everyone, but I learned just the other day that I'm not. So.
Well, I mean,
but I'm getting used to
it. It's hard to checking your ego because here's the thing: the only good ego check that you can do
be humble.
Without, no. The only good ego check that you can do is to go from the transition from thinking that everybody loves you because you got a big ego to realizing that some people love you and others hate you because you got a big ego. But either way, you're still the one. You're still living rent free. So heads of the haters.
So there was like a lot in the chat that because I was lurking in there for a while, but Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, we had
lots of crazy shit going on.
Active chat, no doubt. You love to see it. It's based. I love it. It's good. It's
So
good. We're
let's
just
see.
getting started. That's the other thing. It's like people say to me, they're like, Kevin, you've been doing this for a year. You've got no growth. You're not going anywhere. And it's like, this is a hobby. This isn't my job. Like, I mean, I do this because I want to get my message out, and it's fun because I get to talk with the Hawks. It's like, and we are growing. We are slowly growing, but we also have the patron gang. Like the patron gang wasn't a thing like 2 months ago, and now we're up to $60 American a month. Let's get up to $100 American a month so we can get daily pre-recorded video premiering to YouTube, plus these daily streams broadcasting live to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go.
You're making $60 a month off YouTube?
Fucking can't believe
From
it. He's
Patreon.
earning more than me right now. Can you believe that? I got 4,000 subs and Kevin's here with like 600. I know.
Yeah, I do this shit for free, man.
This guy's a hustler.
Oh man.
Well, that's doing it stupidly.
People believe in the message. That's the thing. It's like, this isn't a joke. Like, I mean, we have fun. You know, we get the memes and stuff, but like, no, we're coming for Kyle. Like, we're coming to take him down. And when I say we're coming for Kyle, I'm not even just saying like, debate me, bro. No, I'm saying like our presence here already grinds their gears. We're ruffling their jimmies already. We're ruffling their cringy jimmies already. And we're small right now. Imagine when we have 800,000 subs. Imagine how much that's going to get under Kyle's skin. That there's an unironic dude that if he says, "Oh, well, you sound like an imperialist," or "You sound like a neocon," and I say, "Yes, I'm a neocon ghoul. Guilty as charged." Imagine the triggering. Like historians will remark on the transition period out of the era of cringe that led into the neocon renaissance, and they will term that era the great triggering when all of these people they get their wits end.
Great triggering. It's going to be in our textbooks, man.
I need to go. I need to go join BreadTube, man. I should go over join BreadTube, get that hot BreadTube money.
Oh, those communists over there make a lot of money, dude. They make a lot of money. I mean, have you guys seen Hassan Piker's Gucci swag?
I can talk shit about the free market, man.
Dude, he's got a ring on every finger, dude. He's got a ring on every finger. He hates capitalism. He hates corporatism. He hates corporatism in the MFL, but he's got a ring on every finger. He's got Gucci swag. He's got Louis Vuitton. He's got.
We were talking about Rage Against the Machine. I mean, I wonder how much money Rage Against the Machine has made over their career, but they're still pushing, that anarchist, ridiculous.
Yeah, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Oh, we got Paleo Conservative here. He says Kyle is right on foreign policy. Yeah,
he's totally trolling. He's totally trolling. He has to be trolling.
No, but like a Paleo that would say that though. That's the thing.
Well,
his
name is Paleo Conservative, and when he came in here, he's like,
"Have
you ever heard of the USS Liberty?" Like, come on.
Yeah.
No. Do you guys remember the next?
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised.
When literally we had the Paleocons come on this chat, and they were unironic. They were legit dudes, flooded, and they would do the USS Liberty shit. Like, this is actually what they do. Like he right now might be a troll. But they literally do this shit. This is all they know how to do.
That's exactly how they would fuck with you. Though,
oh my god, guys, sorry. I need to interrupt. This is breaking news from the Hill, and I feel this is very important Hawk news. HBO have announced that the reboot of Looney Tunes, Elmer Floyd, the guy with the gun, will not have a gun in the Looney Tunes remake.
Oh, Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd
will no longer carry a gun.
What's he gonna hunt those wabbits?
He's a hunter.
Yeah,
wabbit.
Exactly.
Those wabbits. Be very quiet.
A hunter without a gun is nothing.
Elmer Fudd. The whole point of Elmer Fudd, the whole reason why he was a lovable kid's character was because he was gun pilled. How are they gonna like? What?
Elmer Fudd was killed on guns.
There's no way that's true.
It is.
Like,
I'm
Elmer
looking at the
Fudd,
Hill right now.
I'll put it in he's gun pilled.
My favorite Looney Tunes episode is actually the one where he doesn't have the gun. It's like the opera.
This is what.
Wait, so are they infringing on Elmer Fudd's gun rights? Is that
I suppose.
The whole point of Elmer Fudd was that he's gun killed and he liked to eat rabbits. Like, how's he gonna hunt rabbits if he doesn't have his gun? Like,
yeah, that's
what kind of woke shit is this?
Yeah, do you know what HBO have just done? They took the gun off the hunter and then they shot Looney Tunes in the back of the fucking head with it.
I don't even know why they would reboot it. Like, it just seems like
just get rid of it.
Without Mel Blanc and like the classic. Like, it's not the same.
If you're gonna do that, just fucking get rid of it. Like, why the fuck would you keep it around at all? Just like fucking erase it.
Well, maybe they're going for like the Big Chungus memes, maybe because maybe that's what they're going for. Like,
they should just make a Big Chungus spinoff.
Big Chungus.
Get rid of the whole fucking thing.
Oh, no, I'm serious, dude. I'm serious. It's like that's what they're going for. Maybe they're trying to court like the Nick Fuentes crowd, and so they're get rid of Elmer Fudd, so he's not a threat to the Wabbit anymore, and then the Wabbit can get fat, and we're gonna have.
I can bring this all together. Imagine a movie where Elmer Fudd he's not allowed to have a gun because apparently that's offensive, and so Bugs Bunny doesn't have to run from him anymore, so he becomes Big Chungus. It could be like
I heard that's like a subplot in the new Space Jam.
Oh man!
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, I can just see Nick Fuentes because I remember when the Joker came out, and Nick Fuentes was like, we've been losing for 30 years. We've been getting our asses kicked. The neolibs and the neocons and all this stuff. But he's like, yeah, but we did get the Joker. It was a win and it was very good and everything. When he gets Big Chungus, he'll also he had a stream. He got like $2,000 or something on that stream where it's like, it was their big night. He does like the Joker, he does like the Joker sort of emotive.
It's clearly not about his politics. It's clearly about left
dance or whatever it is. I forget the name. It's like free flowing dance or whatever. But like, yeah. But like, so when they bring out Nick, Big Chungus, he'll be like, well, we've been losing to superpower broadcasting. We've been getting our asses kicked over there, but we did get Big Chungus, so there's that, and he'll like hug a pumpkin or something, and like I guess like kiss a cat boy or whatever, so it's like because he's a trad cat, right? He's a trad cat, but he's also a Mexican virgin, so because of
that's so crazy that he thought the Joker movie was a win for him because that's like one of the most like far left, it's not that they're pushing a message with the movie, but you could very much interpret it as like the Antifa anthem.
I think the Joker movie has like a far more like left wing. It makes more of like a left wing commentary than it does a right wing commentary. I don't know how.
But the thing is, like,
he's left on and right on social shit. Like he's Nazbol. He's literally Nazbol. Like this is him right here.
With the recent riots and protests, I'm kind of alarmed at the number of people who found Joaquin Phoenix's character sympathetic. Like that's fucked up. Like, no, absolutely not.
You get what you deserve.
The amount of people who gravitated toward that movie.
Well, you were in my chat.
It's just not like he's sympathetic for like 5 minutes.
You were in my chat when we were streaming the police station burning down, and you were like, "How about another joke, Murray?"
I mean, because that's it's what it kind of looked like at the end of that movie for sure.
Oh man,
I could definitely see a lot of people maybe, and this isn't to say that like I'm against media and I'm against artistic interpretation, but I could see a lot of people being somewhat inspired by that and saying, "I'm gonna go out. We're gonna have our revolution."
It's so bizarre to me that like people have kind of
it's the people rising up.
Gravitated towards this character as like I don't know. It's kind of like an anarchic sort of symbol, I suppose the Joker is, but I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's great when it's a character that you find interesting. It's not great when it's your hero. Like that's when I start getting a little tense.
He was not meant to be a role model.
No,
absolutely not. And that's what they were fear mongering before the movie came out about. Oh, well, white males are going to be, inspired by this to do shootings. But when it's people on the left, it's fine. They didn't realize beforehand the movie came out that the movie was.
I mean, I remember that they were so concerned when that movie came out that there were going to be like mass shootings and that they needed like security guards in the theaters and whatever, and there was not a single one.
How about we get some security guards on our fucking streets? I think the theaters are fine. The rest of the country needs the assistance.
We gotta defund the police.
Movie, it was totally fine when I went and watched that movie. It was totally cool. Now, not so much. It
would be in bad taste to watch it again right now.
Yeah, well, if I could, the theaters are all closed because of fucking COVID or some shit. Plus, the streets are full of anarchists and just pissed off people. I guess protesters. I guess is what they're saying.
Peaceful protesters. Get it right.
Yeah.
Peaceful rioters.
They should put Pandemic back in theaters instead.
Oh no! I like the movie too, so I don't want it to make it sound like I'm.
Speaking of which, I have to say, I did want to comment on this one thing that I've been seeing like going around, because I've seen like health professionals apparently say that like all of the stuff that's going on is in as far as like the protests is like, well, it's fine. Like if you're gonna protest and gather with like over 100 people, like that's fine, even though even though like it hasn't been fine for months, and like we're still gonna see like a spike probably. I don't see, and it's like, look, obviously like people have like the right to protest, and it's like I'm not, as far as like people who are like peacefully protesting, like I have no problem with that, but it is kind of a double standard, because for months you were seeing the anti-lockdown protests, which I thought were really stupid, and we talked about them on these streams several times. But when they were doing it, it's like everyone was coming out against it, and now it just seems like what the social distancing, like it's not a thing anymore.
No, because basically. The progressives are on the side of science, and so that's why we know that social groups gatherings should be limited to 12 people maximum and social distance, but protests should be limited to 100 people maximum. You're like, wait, but here's the deal: the virus doesn't care if you're woke and protesting systems, or if you're just out at a barbecue. It doesn't care. Like, you being woke,
the best comment
isn't going to stop the virus. Like, the virus goes into your system, but then realizes that, like, I don't know, you've read Farrakhan and then decides that it's not going to infect you. Like, come on, dude. This is some brainlet tier bullshit. So
the best comment was it said something along the lines of, just characterize every meeting as a protest. If you're barbecuing, it's a protest. Yes. It's a pro-beef protest. So
you're protesting. Ask yourself. You're protesting vegan gates.
There you go. It's an anti-vegan protest.
It's an anti-vegan protest. It's
a lot of people came out of this.
It's an anti-Nazi protest. Hitler was a vegetarian, dude, or vegan or whatever, dude. It's an Antifa protest.
There you go. Even better. A lot of people came out of this looking like absolute hypocrites. I see what you're saying. And they lost a lot of their political power and leverage, especially unfortunately, going into the election that is looming in the very near future.
I posted in the chat that what did you think of y'all? What did y'all think, rather, of Biden clinching the nomination?
I mean, like, very,
obviously you guys are happy, but like I know that.
Bernie got wrecked.
The writing was on the wall.
This is my response to that. I'm just getting the meme right now. All I got is a meme. All I got to say is this one meme. So we'll bring it up on the screen, and this is my response. This is how I feel.
That's very true. Very true. The thing is, like, at any other point, we have so much shit going on in the news. If if the country was a little bit normal right now, that would have been the biggest news story, is Biden being the nominee. But now it's like an afterthought. And, I wish him the best. I really hope a lot of the Democrats around him didn't totally shred their integrity with this double standard on social distancing, because I think it does take a lot of their power to blame Trump for the way things turned out, if they're going to be advocating that people
they can't blame Trump at all.
I mean, it's interesting because I think that like the majority of the electorate, I think generally support the sentiment behind the protests, and so I mean I don't know if it's gonna like impact Biden as much as maybe it could, and I don't think there's a lot of like the animus around him that there was around Hillary. Like the most because people say about that, because he's a man, but I mean also because for a lot of reasons, like he's
I'm just trying to trigger some anti-feminists. Just go with it.
To be honest, I thought Biden had won months ago. I didn't realize
a good chance of winning.
Well, no, he won. Jay, he won officially. He won on Bloody Monday. That will be remembered in history as much fun. Bloody Monday. That's what Kyle called it.
That's going to be that, and the great triggering are going to be in the history textbooks.
The great triggering, Bloody Monday. These will go down like people will remember this for the ages.
If Bernie Sanders really cared about standing with Biden and advising him from the sidelines and helping him win and beating Trump, he would not have suspended his campaign. He would have dropped out totally and just said, hey, this is over. You get this as early as possible. So you have as much time as you need. You don't have to worry about any of this, and you can focus on working your way up to the general. But he didn't. The fact that we even had to wait this long for the quote-unquote official announcement that Biden was the nominee is an absolute joke. Fuck that.
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
It is.
I was seeing memes like
get told to check.
I was gonna say like I saw memes like
think about how much of a narcissist you'd have to be.
I saw memes like a few days ago.
Mills from the chat, man.
Wait, Mills gone?
All the messages are deleted. I don't know.
I still see.
No, he's still here. He's still here. There's one. Here's a message from right here.
Kevin, I'm leaving this device and moving on to another device, so watch out for me down below.
Maybe it was a fake.
I saw some memes like a few days before Biden clinched, when he needed like 12 delegates left, and Bernie needed like 116% of the remaining delegates, and it was like, okay, guys, here's how Bernie can still win. in denial till the end.
Well, Jank, like 6% Jank, he said, and he did videos like after Super Tuesday round 2, saying how, not all hope is lost. Like we can still do it. It's just an uphill battle. It's like, okay, but dude, really,
okay, after Super Tuesday won,
you spent $1 million.
After Super Tuesday won, like the writing was basically on the wall. After Super Tuesday 2,
yeah, but Jank doesn't know how to read.
There was no way you could have possibly justified or defended the position that he had like even a modicum of a chance.
No, but Jank never looked at the wall for that week. He was too busy woke scolding people on Twitter and YouTube. So to him, it's like, hey man, we could still do it. We could still do it. The revolution, bro. And now that the revolution is dead, I mean, they know there's not going to be another Bernie for a long, long time, man. This was the absolute defeat of progressivism in America. It was just, it was beautiful. And here's the thing that's amazing about it is that Joe Biden's actually kind of a progressive guy. Like he's one of the more progressive politicians out there. And yet in the Bernie world, he's like Hitler, basically. So it's It's amazing.
Joe Biden is the example of a progressive that I like. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't want to come on here and say like, oh, I'm anti-progressive in all cases. No, that's not true at all. There are many progressive, causes that are worth supporting. But when you have someone like Bernie, who is he's like equating Trump to neocons and saying, basically just saying, oh, neocons are these bloodthirsty monsters who, they wanted to bomb other countries and now they basically want to terrorize American streets. Yeah, that guy cannot be president. There's no way in hell that guy can be president. So irresponsible.
Absolutely. I mean, let's not forget, like Bernie the other day, and I'll have to do a solo video on this. He tweeted out talking about how the neocons keep pushing for war and all this stuff, as if neocons are still like a big force in power right now. So Bernie Sanders is living in 2003, and on economics, he's living in like 1967. Like he still thinks that Scandinavia is like welfare state is socialism. Amazing. Like he thinks George Bush is still president.
He very much falls into that camp of people who were psychologically crippled in 2003. And then we wonder why people like Kyle come along and they sound as retarded as they do. It's because they spent their entire lives listening to Bernie Sanders. Defeating Sanders this time around when he's probably not going to run again was a pivotal moment in U.S. politics because he is easily the biggest person in their movement. They don't have an instantaneous replacement for him. Who are they going to run next time? AOC? No fucking way. No way. Bernie was their best bet. He's a senator. He's older. His name's out there. And he's not seen, he is seen as being crazy and fringe, but he's not, he's not maligned to the same degree, I don't think.
I don't think AOC will even be old enough to run next time, honestly.
And
I think she will be. I think she will be. What is she, 30 now?
In 2024, you have to be 35. Yeah, I don't think she'll be.
You have to be 35.
She
might be 35, like a few months before the general. But
she would be the youngest, president in history.
Yeah, she
like no fucking way.
Yeah, no, nobody's voting for AOC. Like it's not going to happen.
She's a joke,
she's not
dude.
nearly
She's
popular.
the fucking Sarah Palin of the left. Like,
yeah, but
people don't like
her.
her.
They love her, man. They love her. They're obsessed. They're
not really. I mean, like I'm on the fucking left and I hate her. So like like how much.
Yeah, no, she. I think her popularity is wildly low.
Yeah,
like
she's
kind of like a
Sarah
media
Palin
darling,
of the left.
But like
people on the left, I don't
barely
like her.
squeaked.
I can see Russia from my home.
She barely squeaked that election.
Ilhan Omar though. What does that make Ilhan
She
Omar?
barely squeaked the election.
I hate her too. And this is the thing,
Crowley.
man.
No, but
The
Ilhan
misunderstanding.
Omar is dumber than AOC.
Well, this is the misunderstanding
Ilhan
of your
Omar is
view of the
dumber.
left is like, I'm on the left, and like I fucking hate these fucking people. So like, there's more motherfuckers out there like me who don't like them either, who are also on the left. So
Yeah, I think that the schism. There's definitely like a schism on the left as far as like the more progressive wing versus the more moderate wing. But I think this primary process essentially demonstrated that the moderate wing is far more of a majority than the progressive wing. Again, the progressive wing, like the Ilhan Omars and the AOCs of the world, they're just like media darlings. But like, who cares? I doubt they even like win re-election like next time.
Oh yeah, all the old people.
Maybe
all
AOC,
all the old people are on our side. Like
Exactly. We got the boomers, man.
Yeah, we got the boomer represent. Yeah, we've got them propping up the Democrats.
Boomer nation.
Once the boomers are gone, the Democrat Party is probably fucked, and I don't know what we do after that.
I mean, the one caveat that
because Warren ran against Bernie, and they'll never forgive her for that. So Warren's
going to be too old anyway. Warren in 4 years is going to be too old.
Bernie's old. I mean, the future is very unsure for sure.
The one caveat I'll make to this is like if Biden loses in the general election, like I don't know, it could be a possibility that people will say, oh well, if we want to win, maybe we have to like look at courting these progressives a little more. Maybe we have to kind of give them a say. But realistically speaking, like I don't see it. Like I think people like Buttigieg, I think people like him are more the future of the Democrats than people like Bernie, people like AOC, honestly.
And people, there's kind of going to be a spectrum. I would see the spectrum as like Buttigieg to Yang. Yang's going to be part of that future too. And he's an example. I mean, he's kind of been canceled by a lot of other progressives, but
yeah,
he's a progressive who
he got canceled when he endorsed Biden.
He talks about the actual issues though, like not fucking misgendering and shit. He talks about real issues essentially. And that's a big
he talks
step in
about
the right
the
direction.
economy and modernizing the economy for the 21st century. And yeah, like topics like automation and STEM, like he's talked about the cybersecurity skills gap, which is a major problem, and that's an area where we need to compete with Russia because their cyber program is one of the best in the world. So yeah, those are really important issues, and I mean, like, look, I'm hoping that there's a voice for people like him. I'm hoping that voices like that are the more prominent voices.
Yeah, Yang is the future of the Democrats, man. Andrew Yang, UBI, unconditional basic income. It's coming.
You're saying it here, man.
Right around the corner.
I would be very interested. Let's say Biden loses, and that people are saying that same spiel that we would predict that, this is why we can't run boring corporatists. This is why we need a radical candidate who excites people. I really doubt it would be Bernie again. I would be curious who they
way
would
too
put
fucking
forward.
old.
Yeah, no, Bernie probably won't be alive in 2020.
Fucking Yang, man.
Like he's 78 and just had a heart attack. Like there's really like a doubt as to whether he'll even be alive.
They're gonna have to find like a replacement Bernie. It's so weird.
I'll get my fucking Yang bucks one
They'll
way
have
or another.
They'll use the UBI. They'll use the UBI to like reanimate his corpse or something. And they'll run that in
we do need to wrap up the stream though. I got to be up early for work. Thank you to everybody for coming on. We're gonna go to closing remarks now. So we'll go to Nightmare Fuel, then we'll go to Henry, then we'll go to Mike, and then I'll close it up.
Yeah, we're kind of bouncing around it. Not like a central topic tonight. I'm interested going into the general. I really hope that some of the hypocrisy that we've seen now from Democrats doesn't come back to bite them, but you really never know. You sacrifice so much political ammo if you treat the lockdown measures like a joke. 1 week it's the issue. This is what we're going to bash Trump with. This is what we're going to bash conservatives with. But when a protest comes around that you're in favor of, you start singing a little bit of a different tune there. And for people saying, although there's people, it's people in the protests wearing masks. Okay, that's not everyone. And yeah, wearing a mask isn't like doesn't make you immune from every disease known to man. Like, oh, I put on a mask, I'm safe. If you're like if you're packed together, have you seen these pictures and these videos of people protesting where there's not an inch between them? I don't think wearing a mask is going to do a whole lot for you if someone's breathing down your neck, buddy. That's not how fucking breathing works. Like we have to actually.
It's just a plague, bro. It's just a plague, bro. This guy's wearing a mask.
Political disagreements, are fine. But if I have to explain how breathing works to people, that's when we have a problem. Amazingly enough, a thin piece of cloth will probably not save your life if someone with a disease is coughing right in your fucking face. Just
imagine a skeleton explaining to you how breathing works.
Yep.
I love what Jaeger said. No, I love what Jaeger said about that. I love what Jaeger said because Jaeger, of course, works. He sells this kind of stuff. He knows, the ins and outs of this kind of stuff. And he said, he's like, what do you think an N95 mask means? It means it's got 95% effectiveness at weeding out the virus particles. So like that means that 5% still gets through in optimal conditions. Like
yeah,
it's not 100%.
And that's like that's taking into account that you're being responsible, that you actually are keeping your distance. If you're not keeping your distance, you can watch that probability go down much further.
Yes. And most of those people have like makeshift rinky-dink kind of like, fabric masks. They're not even like medical grade N95s, right? So
oh yeah, no, they're not like that quality.
I have one of those.
There is a certain level of sympathy to be had for protests, because obviously I have not found a single person who's in favor of what happened to George Floyd, and there's already been steps taken to remedy that situation. So since that's been dealt with and is continuing to be dealt with, these protests serve no purpose, and we're watching the societal upheaval in every major city in America. And no one should be out in mass protests. I don't fucking care if it's a political cause you believe in. The people who believe in it are very misinformed to begin with. They've cherry picked this one case. They could have chosen any number of cases. They got upset by this one because the guy who died was black, and that is the only reason. Yep. Beyond that, they don't care about him. They don't care about him. They don't care about his family. They care that he's black, and that made them uncomfortable, so they decided to burn the fucking country down. Thanks a lot. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, you idiots. And you've sacrificed so much political integrity for the left-wing party in America. So fuck y'all. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Reese. And when you said about the political integrity, I think that's important there. I mean, it's incumbent upon Joe Biden, those around him, as well as anybody that's, really kind of affiliated with him as like surrogates and stuff, to distance themselves as much as possible, not only from the riots, but honestly, at this point, start, at least optics wise, distancing yourself from the protests. Because if it comes down to if the protests are what the election's over, which it probably won't be, but let's say it were, Trump's going to win that. So that's my view. But, but that's my perspective there. I still think that Biden has the advantage going against Trump. But if that were the issue, I think that Trump overall has the favor if the Democrats are seen as the party of the rioters and the Republicans are seen as the party of law and order. But we're going to go to Henry on that for your closing remarks. So thanks for coming on.
Oh, okay. Well, it's very late. I am very drunk. I'll say I'll say you should vote for Joe Biden because Trump is a massive piece of shit. And, Biden sucks. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't like the guy either. But, he's not the best. He's the best we got. And Trump is such a massive piece of trash that, like, anything is better than what we have going on now. So, yeah, go out there. Vote for him. I would take, people are saying he's senile, he's old, he doesn't know what he's doing. I would rather have the corpse of Joe Biden running this country than Donald Trump. So any fucking person out there, if you're a legal person eligible to vote, go vote for Biden. Even if he's half dead, I don't give a fuck. It would be better, I think. Yeah, so that's all
even if he is dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if he's dead, I would rather have him. I would take the corpse of Biden over a totally lucid, totally sane Donald Trump. So please do that for me.
Please.
Oh man. Yeah, no, with that we're gonna go to Mike, Progressive Apostate. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me on. Shit got pretty crazy, so it's always fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess what I'll say is, like, in regards to like the protests and whatnot, like I can even like sympathize with, like, some of the talk about the need for like structural reform in regards to, like, use of force and like limiting the ability of police unions to kind of like let cops who commit acts like this off the hook. Essentially, I can definitely sympathize with a lot of that. But when it comes to the rhetoric of people saying to like defund and abolish the police, I mean, I'm never gonna agree with that. Like anarchy is just gonna lead to more chaos. It's gonna lead to more dead black people. It's gonna lead to more dead people in general. It's just that's what happens when you don't have. I mean, like every country, as far as I know, has a police force. Even like fucking Somalia has a police force. So there does need to be like a body that maintains like some semblance of law and order. Like you're not going to have a bunch of social workers doing the job of like trained police officers. I mean, like I would know. So yeah, it's very frustrating to see people have gone like full anarchy, and I think have taken like what can be a movement towards like reform, towards like genuine reform, and have just turned it into like crazy ideological drivel. And I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate to see like the double standard, because I mean, like, look, I didn't sympathize with the MAGA people when they were protesting the lockdown, and you know, like some of them make the point where you know, well, you have to think about the economy, and you know, like what are we going to do if we keep like we can't sustain like the lockdown, which like, I mean, I can understand that. I still don't agree. I still think that the healthcare system would have been overloaded, and it would have been way worse for us if we had just kept things open. But you know, it's still a pretty ridiculous double standard, especially with these protests in like the hundreds, and in some cases the thousands. Like I've seen like aerial footage of like thousands of people congregated together, and that I'm sure is going to be just fantastic. So yeah,
give it 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks, right? For the incubation
the conservative protest. It was like one. There was like one major protest from what I remember.
Most of them were pretty small. They weren't like in the hundreds or thousands.
So we were complaining about that, and we obviously had a lot of strong words about that. What we're seeing now is about 1,000 times worse. Like it's literally it's that bad. And you know, basically take what I said previously and just times it by 1,000. That's how I feel about this. You know, and that's there aren't people involved in either protests who have legitimate grievances. The economy is a very, you know, it's a very understandable concern. If you have someone who's out of a job and they're dependent on, they're living paycheck to paycheck, well, obviously they're going to have a few words to say about that situation. And there's people, you know, protesting now who are talking about some legitimate reform. They're making the case, you know, they're talking about this specific case. I agree. This isn't a case, you know, I know that I'm notorious for defending the cops. This wasn't a case where I defended the cops. So on some base level, I'm in agreement with people who are protesting. But, you know, at some point, how long has it been? Like at some point, you just need to go home. It doesn't need to be happening outside of Minneapolis. It just does. And it certainly doesn't need to be happening now, where it's going to cause a major health issue and delay, you know, the economy truly restarting even further. And that's not, that we cannot handle that. I
mean, really, and this is not even like accounting for like the rioting and looting that has gone on, you know, alongside like a lot of like the legitimate protests. Like, you know, that's cost. I mean, like, you know, Kevin, I think you said like, you know, over $1 billion. Like, you know, I would assume like at least in the hundreds of millions. And it's like, this is on top of the global pandemic that has like absolutely destroyed our economy. Kevin, there he is. Yeah, that would be pretty unfortunate to lose Kevin on his own stream. So yeah, it's just it's not looking good. And then in regards to like the general election, like, yeah, I'm basically in agreement with with Henry. Like, Biden, he wasn't my first choice. Although I do like him in the sense that I view him as like kind of presidential, and I feel like it's a good choice to use in the country. But yeah, if it's between him and Trump, like, I mean, the choice is so fucking obvious. Unless you're
roboting. They got you.
Yo, you're roboting. The Russians.
They got to you. They got to you.
They got to you.
Oh yeah.
They got to me too.
Well, shit.
Am
I still doing it?
No, you're good now.
Okay, cool. What was I saying again? Oh, so
you
Biden...
were just going robot mode.
Yeah, no, I was glitching out. I was glitching out into the Matrix. So yeah, go vote for Biden. Like, unless you're drinking the Kool-Aid and got your MAGA hat screwed on too tight, you know what to do.
He's people can disagree with the policies. I would put forward the idea that he is a genuinely good person. He's very empathetic. He has endured so much tragedy in his own personal life, yet kept his head up through it all. And something I find so personally disgusting are these attacks against the gaffes or the dementia accusations. He has a very well-known stutter. I am obviously sympathetic to that because I suffer from a bit of a stutter myself at times. And I'm sure that it came about for him based on maybe some personal tragedy in his life, but people take that to mean basically he'll have trouble saying something, and people are like, "Oh, look at this guy, he's lost his marbles," and that is so fucking discriminatory that should be like an automatically disqualifying political opinion. There's no defending.
I mean, it's such bullshit. I mean, even if you want to make the case that like
you're going
is like slower now than he was when he was.
Why were like a bunch of people got their? Why is the chat like so many people got messages deleted? What happened there?
Oh, one of the mods showed up. We have the cavalry here. We got Anthony Avista.
He's white people out.
He is empowered. He is empowered with the he is vested with the powers of the mod. He is mod pilled, so you don't mess with him. So,
that's fucking gay. Whatever.
Hey man, Reese is mod pilled too, dude. Reese is mod pilled too.
Hey, honestly, the people who were left were pretty harmless. If it happened to Milzer, I wouldn't have given a fuck. But Sally's she's on a lower tier of concerns.
That's not Sally. Sally hasn't been unbanned yet. That's a different account.
Sally could have made another.
Am I really auto tuning? Is that what's going on now?
Yeah, you're roboting, man. Yeah. All over the place. You're roboting.
Beep,
shit.
Bop.
Give me a second.
We got you.
Oh man.
Yeah,
give me a second.
We got it. We got to wrap this up. I got to be up early for work. I wasn't expecting the whole gang to come on. Basically, I mean, we had a lot of the people that don't show up very regularly on here. But we're gonna go to my closing remarks here, and of course, this is the part where I expand my ego. I don't check my ego. I make this part very large here. So to conclude this up, yeah, Boomer Kevin. So we got basically, I'm not even going to have much of a long speech or anything here. This was a much more impromptu, sort of unstructured stream. I was planning to talk for a bit about obviously the debacle that happened with respect to Mayor Frey over in Minneapolis. We talked about it. We talked about a bunch of different stuff too. We had a fun stream. We were joined by, of course, Nostrabongus, hashtag the bong is never wrong. Go follow him over on Twitter at Bong Redux. Base dude. Base content for sure, no doubt. We had the Guy King and Warmongers came on here. We had Nightmare Fuel, Reese, awesome as always. We got Henry came on here. Go follow him at American Madhouse. Subscribe to his channel as well, American Madhouse. We got Progressive Apostate. very based. Definitely good to be joined by him. Go follow him at I think it's Prague Apostate on Twitter. We've got as well. We had Jay War Kettle. Go follow him at War Kettle on Twitter. And am I forgetting anybody? We had a number of people come on tonight. It was really cool. But yeah, we had Tibbs. Go follow him. He's up. Oh, and we had John Smith's Basement. Oh, dude, everybody came in here tonight. So yeah, go follow John Smith's Basement and go follow Tibbs at I believe he's at Prague Hawk. I'll just see if I can get his but he's at Prague Hawk 91 on Twitter. You can follow him there. Interesting guy. We have our disagreements and stuff, but he's one of those progressives who's not a cringe progressive. Like progressivism is getting kind of diluted, and it's gotten to a point now where when people think of progressivism, they of course think of Bernie and his ilk and people to the left of Bernie, but he's not in that crowd. And I like that. He's more like the Joe Biden kind of crowd. And I like Joe Biden. And it's worth noting in all of this that for all the smears and everything else, Joe Biden is still, he's somewhere between a progressive and a moderate in the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton was more of a moderate. I mean, Joe Biden is to the left of Hillary Clinton in many ways. And so that gets lost in the divisiveness and everything else. But Joe Biden's not to the left to such an extent that he is a complete turnoff to those who are in the realm of normalcy. He can win over working class voters in the Rust Belt. I believe that he has about a 60 to 65% chance of winning against Trump right now. But of course, things can change and times can change. And the center issue, the focal issue, can change in the run up to the election. And, to just kind of close this off, I will say, with regard to the demands, the wishes, the whining, the crying for we got to abolish the police, just end the police, abolish the police. Like, the system, it's the systems of institutions, they're racist. So let's just get rid of the police. Be careful what you wish for. I know with the Constitution and everything that's out there and all the laws and everything, it would be impossible for any leader to just get rid of the police force. But if we did go to that universe where you have that happen, I got news, dudes. It's not going to work out very well for you in particular, because almost all of those people that are the first to say abolish the police, they weigh like 110 pounds. They're too woke to work out. The militias, the right-wing militias would kick their ass. They wouldn't hold up very long in actual anarchy. All the woke punks who want anarchy and they say, yeah, radical, man. Yeah, I am a punk, like Aid Skrillex and stuff. Those guys. They want to abolish the police. Sure, it's not going to work out for them. I mean, really, do we think Aid Skrillex is going to fare well in the purge? Really? No. So be careful what you wish for. They would be the first to beg to have
Skrillex runs these streets.
Yeah, he runs these streets, dude. He's got his little gang. He's got Carl the Cuck and Aid Skrillex, and they go out there and they woke scold all the big libertarian militias out there. It's like, no, you get anarchy. If we actually get rid of the police force, here's what happens. You guys get curb stomped by the right wing. That's what happened. What would happen? And so you guys would be the first to beg to bring back the police force and say how not having the police was not woke and not politically correct, because it meant that all the right wingers and fascists and stuff were able to beat the crap out of like the SJWs. So it's like, it's just, again, be careful what you wish for. I know it's not going to happen. It can't happen. It's not a position to say, oh, we should get rid of the police. However, Ilhan Omar literally said that. She's like, yeah, we're going to keep fighting until we defund the police, to get rid of the police or whatever. It's a joke. She's a joke. And as I said earlier at the outset of the stream, when there were four of us, and I said, and I contrasted us against the so-called the squad. And I said, well, there are two squads. They are Squad L. And we here at Superpower Broadcasting, we're Squad Dub. So with that, thank you for watching. Be sure to like this video. Definitely be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Go follow me over on Twitch. Links in the description below. And if you'd like to support my work and help out the channel, and definitely trigger all of the cringe mongers and the yikes lords when they see how passionate and how high energy our community is, definitely go to patreon.com/superpowerbroadcasting and let's get up to $100 American a month, because then we'll have daily premiering videos that are pre-recorded in addition to the daily streams that you got right now for $60 a month. So big ups to all the patrons. Again, I appreciate it. I'm aware, you know, for a very small channel such as this, got disproportionate support, and that's based and hawk-pilled, just as the patrons are. And so with that, stay based, everybody. Keep on rocking in the free world. Have a good night. Peace.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Good night.